here it is like this.
Oh, wait. Wrong screen. Why is it sharing the wrong screen?
Oh no, it's not sharing the porn screen, is it?
No. Yeah, the screen.
Whoa.
Which one?
Change windows.
Are we live?
Yes, we should be. There we go. Okay. And then that, and then it keeps auto switching. Are you kidding me?
Hey, can we discuss like, are we gonna go easy on the cameo spoilers? Because I feel like
Cameo spoilers?
I mean, we probably should go a little easy. I've only
it's not
played...
really gonna add much to the conversation versus spoil it for people, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
What are you talking about?
Maybe so.
Astrobot.
So, how many worlds? So each world has like a dedicated
Here's what I would say.
themed level around an IP.
Yeah, don't talk
Maybe
about
we can
the
talk
themed
about
levels.
like the first one in the first world. Just
Which one was the first one?
Ape Escape.
That's
Well,
right. That's
I'm
right.
hearing
Yeah,
an
yeah,
echo.
What?
I never heard an echo.
What?
Do you have the stream up, Brad?
I'm currently hearing an echo.
Finally,
I also saw you delayed. Maybe I'll drop out.
Why? Okay.
What's going on?
It keeps switching windows when I try to share. All right, what if I do this? Okay, so I got to close that window in order to mute and actually be able to fucking do this. Okay.
Testing.
Fuck you, Discord.
PlayStation Studios.
Yeah. Anyway.
What kind of
All right.
horseshit is this?
All right, let's rock.
Oh no,
All right.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
I got a weird echo.
I haven't played
Whoa.
anything yet.
We can all hear echoes.
Of
Why
what?
am I the only one that doesn't hear an echo?
Echo, then it's you.
I don't hear anything.
Dividing by 0.
Are you
Echo.
hearing the stream?
No, I can hear.
No, it's like right after.
I really don't know what y'all are talking about.
Wait. Yeah, it's not coming from anyone's mic.
I'm hearing even with my mic off.
I'm hearing myself as if I'm talking directly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what if I stop sharing my screen?
Way.
Testing.
It's still
That's
weird
gone.
that I'm the
That's
only
gone.
one not hearing this.
Oh, it's gone. That must have been the.
Maybe you've got powerful NVIDIA software that stops that or something.
It's still happening.
Testing, testing.
Testing.
It's gone.
Okay, I don't hear it now. Oh, that was scary.
It was scary.
Discord fucked something with their screen sharing. All right, I'm gonna have to mute the audio for y'all, I think.
I'm not fucking buying this Astrobot bullshit. Like,
Wait, what Astrobot bullshit? I'm confused.
We're gonna talk about it. I want to hear his take fresh on the podcast.
my take? I don't have a fucking take. My take is that you're all insane.
What is happening right now?
94? A 94?
Oh my god.
I mean,
Bullshit.
Let's
We
not
need
do
to
this.
get rid of the plus 90 extra points.
I mean, you know, we can turn that off.
Honestly, we should. Mainly just because of how
This
few
guy-
games even get
Space
that
Marine
many.
hit 82, and this guy was shitting his fucking pants all over everybody. Like, they're not counting all the negative reviews. Blah, 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 blah. And then he turns around and puts up a 94 and what, another 94? Like, fuck
95,
you,
right?
Brad. Fuck
95.
you.
Oh, first of all,
yourself.
I didn't know
95.
no one expected Astrobot to score this high.
Shut the fuck
Yeah, I
up.
did.
I did.
I mean, 95. It's pretty rare.
Overrated. Game is okay.
Dude, I've
but
been-
that's it. The controls
I've been
are no
saying
good.
92 is like the floor for a while.
To me, I thought this would be around 91 to 93. 95, when you get up there, it becomes pretty rare.
Dude, he was over in the fucking Fantasy Critic Discord being like, hey, why are these negative reviews being counted? Like, what's going on? This seems kind of weird.
First of all,
on
you
Open Critic's
motherfucker,
part.
there is no. I uncovered some shady bullshit going on with
my
Open Critic.
God.
They are not a trustworthy company at all. They recently sold.
Oh my god!
Explain something to me. How did it go from an 85 to almost an 81?
I don't know. That
days and days and days after launch. I mean,
that
after
doesn't seem like a crazy dip.
critics.
That seems like a rounding error.
All of those
3%?
reviews that weren't no. Listen. All of those reviews that weren't posted were top critics, which means they're scoring sites like from big sites, and they were posted like day one.
Okay, whatever.
On Metacritic.
So what?
On Metacritic from day one, like it took a week for them to get onto OpenCritic.
What game
are we sure?
even talking
So
about
the company that bought OpenCritic,
Space Marine,
they have video game websites that they bought them like in the last month or two. They have video game websites.
We're talking about Space Marine.
No,
Brad
we're
thinks
talking about ad deals, conspiracies.
Brad thinks there's some kind of crazy Space Marine conspiracy to get it a 9.
Look at the
82.
dates. Look at the dates when those reviews were posted. They were on Metacritic.
gentlemen.
So what? So what?
Let's pause this conversation. Let's get through trailer
Start your
talk, and then we
engines.
can do
Man,
fantasy
it's not
critic
about
later.
you
Brad, shut the
losing
fuck
points.
up.
It's about me losing points. What?
We need to
Don't
do I said shut the fuck
Yeah,
up. We
just-
need to do...
Is
I'm
it-
starting
is it
trailer
working?
talk whether you like it or not.
Oh,
Wait, are we
did
live?
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to Core Keeper.
94s.
So
And
we're not going
trailer
to get
talk.
audio on this? Is what
No,
you're
you're
saying?
not.
You couldn't
I
figure
don't
it
know
out?
what's going on with Discord. Something's fuck with it.
Universal.
Interesting. Okay, but are they getting audio?
Is that why
Yeah,
I wasn't
they
getting the
should be.
echo earlier? Because I wasn't watching the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
probably why.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, I usually don't start it until we start.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Doing trailer talk without audio is kind of terrible.
can I explain this game real quick? This shit's on Game Pass. This shit is like Stardew Valley meets Terraria. It's like
Yeah, it's pretty
co-op. Oh, you've been playing it?
No, I've not been playing it, but I've seen some streams of people playing it. I'm trying
It
to
looks-
stop myself from playing games like this
I
because
see, yeah.
It absorbs.
Dude, it
yeah,
looks sick.
I would go. Fuck
Are you
man.
saying you have an addictive personality, Nolan? Is that?
Anyways, it's supposed to be really good. It reviewed really well. It's popping off on Steam, and it looks pretty fucking lit. I don't know. The words are the audio and the music is fucking terrible, but we'll never know.
Wait, this looks like a game that should have great music.
I'm kidding.
It
It's
sounds
gonna
all
come-
right.
Oh, I get it. You're making a joke because we're sad we
Yeah.
can't hear it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This looks so sick. So this is one that I suggested, like, if we were doing a game night where we didn't want to spend money, this shit's on Game Pass. Yeah.
I mean, is
It
it,
looks
on
cool, but
regular
it
Game
does
Pass
look
or
like-
Game Pass Ultimate?
Like one that
it
Nolan
matters
goes
now.
sicko mode for, and I feel like if he wants to avoid that, I can respect that. But it does look pretty rad. I mean, Terraria, I like.
What is this actually
Terraria
called?
seems- Core Keeper.
Oh, Core Keeper. That's right.
Yeah, hit 1.0 last month. And
This looks
supposedly
sexy.
it's awesome. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
tell you
we're really
why,
not
but
gonna get into
every time I hear the name of this game, it makes me think of Descent, which it should not.
Have you tried dropping out of the call and re-entering? Because when I first
I
came
have
in the call,
dropped out multiple times, and I have shut down Discord and reopened it. We're on the latest release.
You want to turn us on the audio, and just let's see. Just remind us that the echo's still there, because maybe it fixed itself.
I don't think that usually happens, but I'm.
You probably just have something on that isn't usually on.
Ah!
Okay, it's still there. It's still there.
Don't fucking believe me.
There's gotta be. It's gotta be an audio setting.
I think
This
it has
looks
something to do with
fly.
the windows. I bet he's capturing the window, and he's getting the audio from the window.
Oh, I couldn't even
and
get it to
the stream.
capture the window. I had to capture my screen.
Yeah, there's some wonky for sure.
So, yeah. Understatement.
Well, Satisfactory looks pretty satisfying, right?
Yeah,
That's
the audio's great too.
fuck.
The this hit 1.0 today.
So this is officially an out, like a video game that is out. It is
This is a video game that's out. And it's
yeah.
fuck.
review. There's no OpenCritic page yet, but the reviews are out there and they're pretty
Stellar.
as expected.
So
Pretty dope.
Satisfactory is this, and then the other one, the 2D top-down one, is Factorio.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's a very
yeah,
yeah.
like,
Okay.
lower budgety looking one, but that one is
Yeah.
loved as well.
Fuck. This looks pretty cool. I should. Oh no, I don't have time for
Was on Game Pass or no? Maybe not.
It says early access. Kill it. Get rid of it. They're gonna shoot it, right? Yeah. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
It's just out. Yeah. That's what I like to see. Fuck early access. Do Hades 2 now.
No.
Fuck.
Hades 2 is probably 2026.
Do
2026.
do Gloomwood next.
Are you sure? I don't think you'd counterpick that. Because honestly, I'd probably try to pick up Hades 2 next year.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, but I don't know.
Hades 2 will be a first round pickup right after Silksong next year.
All right, skip this shit. It's got controller support. Let's go.
It's got controller support. Oh shit!
I am your beast.
Oh no, I really want to hear the audio
Turns
for
out I'm
this
still good.
one.
Thanks.
Oh.
What the COI made.
It looks cool. Explain to me what this
Okay,
is.
shut
Is this
up.
VR? What is this?
You
No.
need to hear this. Oh no.
This is a run-based game from the guys who made El Paso Elsewhere.
That's why you need to hear the fucking trailer. Damn it. Yeah, this is like it's like a neon white kind of but
Ooh,
it's
you
got-
had me at
it's like
neon white.
narration and music, and you gotta watch the trailer on your own time, I suppose. He's not going to. God
This is
damn
gonna-
it, Chris Davis.
This is gonna
Hey,
be the
blame
worst trailer,
fucking
the
Discord.
shortest trailer. This is gonna be the
Blame
I
Discord.
I guarantee you this can be fixed, but I don't want to sit here for the next 30 minutes trying
Yeah,
to
it
figure out
can
how.
be, but it's
Yeah, and I
not-
would just get
yeah.
increasingly frustrated, and you'd hear it.
Right.
This
So let's
is
let's.
Wild Bastards.
This will be a
Uh,
short trailer talk. How's that?
I think this one has some
Here at Blue
funny
Mansion.
commentary, but
Each of our 13
Is this
outlets
a
Because it's-
sequel
feature unique
or?
weapons
yes,
and
it's a
abilities
sequel
Void
to,
Bastards, yeah.
How
That's
long have
right.
y'all not been able to hear
we
me?
call aces.
This also.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I can hear you now.
Found as you explore
Dude, holy
planets.
shit. I was like
So
yelling
collect
at
them,
Brad. I
return
was like,
to your
Brad,
ship,
shut the
level
fuck
up
up.
your
Stop
outposts.
talking over me. But apparently it's because y'all couldn't hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I was
thank
getting
you, guys.
pissed.
There are 3
Okay, no, what I was trying to say was, can someone else not stream this playlist?
Or charged.
I'm not set
yeah,
up
you
to
know what?
actually
That's a good
capture
point.
that.
Specific traits
So-
of a character.
Oh, so yeah,
The
they
majority
could.
of
Wait,
aces
there's
discover that
a
you choose one of 3
sequel to
special
Void
traits
Bastards?
level up your outlaw.
Out this week.
Yes?
It's called.
So you might
Wild
be able to
Bastards.
leap onto roofs.
I completely
You're
forgot
a
this game.
Wild
Void
Bastards
Bastards fan?
I remember that.
Let's take a look.
I was a
So,
fan of
starting
the
at level 2,
idea.
we have
This is one that
weapons.
I'm worried
Hey,
is just gonna be
This
like.
takes our armor to 0, but increases
You know,
health
indie games
by
this year,
80.
some of them
This
have
is featured level
really
2.
struggled, and I feel
Per
like no
Gatling
one's gonna
guns
play
were
this.
slow spin-off time, and there's a bit
How
of
did the
variance
first
in
game
the
do?
gameplay, so you really have to
I mean, I think the
concentrate
first game did pretty well, but we're in 2024
on
now,
it. Let's see
and
what happens
The
when
first
you
game
level her up.
looked cool, but it was one of those where like you
First
play it
choice
for a
I'm going
couple
to make
hours.
Is healer. So
Wasn't
creatures
Void
get
Bastards like
over
4 or 5
100
years
health,
ago?
And she's also going to get
Yeah.
this one I've seen like
yeah.
almost no
After a
fucking
showdown.
talk about
Next,
though. It's
Brimstone looks great with its burning damage.
I mean, yeah, I forgot
Sharding,
this existed.
So that now she gets explosive damage as well on
Yeah.
each of her bullets.
I don't know if it's early. All right, skip this shit. I don't know if it's early access. It's easier to skip when you don't have audio. It's like, what are they even talking about?
Well, we could just get right to the podcasting if you prefer.
We had some good ones on here though. Damn it.
2019.
Well,
Well, that's all.
it's either
All the more reason to not show them tonight.
That's true. It's true. Let's do one more. We're about to hit 8:30.
All right.
we're gonna do one more, and then he's gonna be like, "No, not this one."
Oh no!
Are you
This was
serious?
in early access. It just got its 1.0 date today or
Why
yesterday.
that's why are all these games getting 1.0 releases like?
Huh?
Nah.
Because it's release
Wait,
season.
this is a sequel.
This is a sequel to Ender Lilies.
That's right.
Oh.
I played
Yeah.
about 3 hours.
Which
of
is a
that.
game that I forgot that the first game was in early access first, and I was really frustrated when they announced this because I really liked that first one. I 100% of it. And I was really frustrated when they announced this and they announced early access because it's definitely one of those that you don't want to like play until it's done. I don't understand why anybody would, because it's just a Metroidvania Souls-like. You know, it's like a like a Hollow Knight or whatever, right? And
But
good.
it's not Hollow Knight.
But it's like I don't want to play it like before it's done. So I'm glad I'm glad it wasn't an early access forever. Which apparently the first game also had a relatively short early access. So that's good. but it's not coming out till January.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's a good January pickup, I suppose.
I hear it's got a terrible soundtrack and audio or something.
Well, actually, it was quite good in the first.
That joke has been made multiple times already, Nick.
Yeah,
I know that's now the joke is that I'm saying the joke multiple times. Like that's the new joke.
Okay, so I do recommend that first one.
We will come back to
Alright.
this next week.
We'll
Yeah.
do some
We
testing,
could be
get that
dead by
sorted
next
out.
week, but okay.
What the fuck, Brad?
I mean, he's not wrong. We could
Okay. Yeah, we could. Oh god. Why'd you have to say that?
Wait, and now wait. What
Oh, I really wanted to watch the trailer for Deliver at All Costs, which looks wild.
Okay.
Have y'all heard about a game that I'm not obviously going to talk about tonight because I've not played it? But hold on one second.
Oh, look what Cord
Dale-
Love says, Chris Davis.
Hang on.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah, maybe it is a
having
Discord
an issue,
update.
like,
Watching
like
something.
across the board?
It's Discord. Discord's fucked.
Oh.
Oh
Nice.
dear God, is Discord like shitting the bed?
That's what I've been saying.
No, but like, are we gonna have to find a new way to record?
No, they'll
Like,
fucking
that
fix
kind-
it.
Like that kind of shitting the bed? Like they're
Are you
changing.
hearing an
They're
echo?
doing this all. No. God damn.
Well, we all record
for it.
locally anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is I'm not going to talk about it on the show tonight, obviously, because I've not played it. But have y'all heard of Dale and Dawson Stationery Supplies?
No.
No,
It's like Among Us, but in an office setting. So, like in Among Us, how you do
I think
tasks and
maybe
stuff, in this,
I've
it's like
seen that.
print out like your sales report and stuff like that. But then like the people who are like the sus people or I forget what they're called, traders or whatever, are like, oh, put someone's stapler in jelly and go and smoke in the bathroom or whatever. Like it's essentially just like one person's a manager. And I don't know. It seems like it's kind of interesting.
Oh,
It could
instead
be
of
a
killing
night game.
people, you're firing them. Like
Yeah, so yeah, you find the manager chooses who to fire, and but then the people can all band together and vote to like boot the manager and have a new manager take their place.
What? You can
it's a-
unionize.
No, you can't. It's on Steam.
The
It just
final
came out
form
a
of
few weeks ago.
unionization.
It's only has 1,600 reviews, but it's like a 90%. It's only $8. It seems like it's pretty good. Maybe definitely a good game night game because it's everyone in an office, like kind of either doing their tasks or not. And I think they have a map that's like it's the office from The Office.
Oh yeah.
It's that's the map is that layout or whatever. But I don't know. It seemed pretty interesting.
Hang on, I will be right back.
It's like Winged
Oh,
knows
see
what's
ya.
up. Get coffee, take a poop. I don't know. We'll call him A. We'll call him B.
I just had to get
This week, the baby is a cabbage.
cold, tasty beverage with my brand new
No, sorry,
koozie.
lettuce.
Ah, yes.
What's
Yeah.
what's the functional difference?
One is slightly larger.
Which one?
I guess technically a lettuce.
Wait, what are the two? What are we talking? The differences between lettuce and what?
This big?
And cabbage?
Like this big? Oh,
Well,
we
if
talking
you're
about,
well, your camera's
Yeah.
not on if you think it is.
Are we talking about
The,
British politicians and whether they'll outlast a cabbage?
No, we're talking about Bernadette.
Whether she'll outlast a cabbage?
Oh,
What does that
I
even
mean,
mean?
I hope she doesn't. I said the size.
Oh, okay.
Last week
Oh,
she
we're
was a
talking about.
cabbage. This week she's a
Gotcha.
lettuce.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm,
Understood.
mhm.
Understood. I totally caught up with this conversation. I know what we're now alluding to. Thank you. Ah.
I'm doing my part. She kicked me in the face the other day. Did I tell you that?
No, you did not.
They
Bernadette?
said that at no,
Or the baby.
they said that at, I can't remember how many weeks, 28 weeks or whatever, or 27 weeks, whatever. You could maybe hear the heartbeat if you put your ear up to the tummy. And I was trying to listen for it, and she fucking kicked me in the face.
That fucking far along?
It That fucking far along what? That you can hear the heartbeat?
That she has legs to kick you with?
Oh, dude, yeah, she's kicking like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically body horror now.
she's
Like
a lettuce.
creature trying to
See, like, I
claw
thought
its
when
way
you
out.
told us, it was like, oh, we just found out.
Well, when okay, there's a difference in between when I announced it to the podcast crew and when I announced it publicly on the podcast. Y'all have known for a long time. She's 28 weeks.
Yeah, it was.
known
It was
for
a
that
while.
long?
Yes.
thought
Well,
that
I
was-
didn't tell y'all at like week 1. I
I
didn't
thought
know
it was like
week
2
1.
months ago or something.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, two months is 8 weeks, so that's probably not too long off from when I told y'all. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
check
Did
it
I
out.
tell you
a
that
9-month gestation? Okay.
Did I tell you that I guessed
Clearly,
first
I-
pregnancy before I was going to be told?
Mhm.
Malia knew she was gonna like tell me like come up with some like elaborate way to surprise me. This was number one. We went to see some movie in the movie. I remember because we were seeing Princess Mononoke, one of those some
Good film. It's a good film.
mini Ghibli showings, and we were in the car. And we were like, "Oh fuck, we didn't eat anything." You know, timing wise, fuck. So we got McDonald's. She ordered a triple cheeseburger, and I've never seen anyone, much less her, order a triple cheeseburger from McDonald's. I didn't even know they did a triple, and I immediately asked, "Are you pregnant?" And she looked. She said, "Oh fuck."
That'd be like I'm picturing that and just picturing her just being like just nonchalantly yes, just blank face yes.
Yeah,
Just fucking.
I figured it
deadpan.
out.
Yeah.
Figured it out. Don't order like random shit that you've never ordered before.
She
that's
ordered
like
a triple
huge tell.
cheeseburger with nothing but pickles, and I knew.
Done dirty. Because, I mean, I'm bored.
All right.
Triple cheeseburger.
What kind of weird shit is Bernadette eating? Anything crazy?
She's not anything too crazy. She definitely was had some weird cravings at the beginning, but not weird like weird food like pickles and ice cream. It's just kind of like weird like, oh, she is craving like pickles, and so she's just eating a shit ton of like pickles or what was it? There was something else.
Malia's pica desires came back. When she was a child, she would eat sand.
Oh my
and
god.
during her second pregnancy, the desire to eat sand came back. And we found out from the doctor that it was actually her iron deficiency that was driving those cravings again. Yeah, pretty wild.
This is horrifying.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Your body's just like, hey, you think sand is tasty now because I'm dying. That doesn't
Yep.
make any sense. Nope. I don't accept that.
I am recording.
All
Testing,
right.
testing.
I'm not.
I also am recording.
Can't be.
I have begun to record.
I am I'm not recording. Hold on, something fucked up. I'm glad I caught this now. Let me fix it. I think it's because my mic fucked up like while we were doing it, and that's why y'all couldn't hear me earlier. I think I need to restart Audacity.
Is that true? You can't drink coffee when you're pregnant? I guess that makes sense.
You can drink
A
coffee.
little bit.
You
Not that much.
You can't have it. Who the? What do you mean, Chris Davis? You've never been pregnant. You can drink coffee. You just can't drink an insane amount of coffee.
No, but I took high school biology.
Define insane amount
You
of
remember
coffee.
that from high school biology? High school biology, you were learning about pregnancies?
Yes.
Biology.
You remember those details?
I
It
had a
doesn't seem like
coach
something
who
they would
was
have spent so
very,
much time
very
on.
adamant about the details of that.
Okay.
Man, I don't remember anything about-
Still weird.
Whatever. I'm gonna stop my recording and I'll wait until no one's ready.
Chris, is everything okay with your webcam?
Is everything
That's-
okay with my webcam?
Yeah.
That's Chris Davis passive aggressively asking
he-
you.
he
John.
literally-
passive aggressively
Yeah,
asking.
everything's
on.
fine. Thanks for asking. How's your webcam doing?
It's working just fine.
Webcam's
Thank you.
great.
Great. We all got working webcams.
Good.
We all,
Good.
yeah. All good.
Great.
All these webcams are working.
Great. Glad we could have this little catch up.
All right, I'm definitely recording now.
I forgot that I have a Nitro account, so I can put custom backgrounds
You
on my
can.
camera.
Same.
So I'm trying to find a good. Are we
Maybe a delicious and dungeon one.
Jesus Christ, Marlu.
I'm recording. I'm recording. I say.
All right. I too am recording.
I mean, honestly, Marlu, that's not too far off from the education I got.
I took human sexuality and
What? You had a whole
That's it.
class on sex? That's.
I've taken 2 human sexuality classes, and I feel like one of them was in high school.
Oh, I mean, maybe in high school, but like in
No.
elementary, like middle school, they were like, if you have sex, you'll die.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I took. No, I took.
And at least
no, it
3
was
different girls in my middle school got pregnant.
It got dead.
No, they
In
didn't
middle
die to my
school?
knowledge. Yeah,
Mm.
my high school had a daycare, and it got used.
That's very
I
progressive.
mean, from other students, thankfully. I'll add that.
Yes, that's. Oh God, yeah. Thanks for clarifying.
Clearly, the abstinence-only talk does wonders.
Mm-hmm. It's great. So, is everybody recording? Are we good?
I'm recording.
I'm recording.
I can
I'm
restart
recording.
Audacity if you need me to.
Please.
No.
stop
I mean, it's
yelling.
whatever. It's whatever you want, as long as everybody's recording, which sounds like we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the roll call starting now with Brad,
Hello. Testing.
Nolan,
This is Nolan, and I am doing my roll call for the podcast.
Crispy,
Hello. Hello. Hello.
with the working webcam, and Chris Davis.
Hello, this is Chris with a CH, not a K.
Correct. All right.
It's factually correct.
All right. We good? We ready?
Was that a joke about Crispy's webcam?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I'm like, is my Discord fucked up?
No. None of us
Alright,
see
cool.
it.
That's fine.
I'm getting there.
He's
Come
trying to
on. Leave
find
me
the
the
perfect-
fuck alone.
Yeah, leave Crispy alone.
He's trying to find the perfect pornographic image to put in the back of his webcam.
Just want something.
If his head is
Cool.
just centered right on the butthole, you won't even tell.
I mean,
The butthole.
video games are so
But-
realistic these days.
I don't know how much. No, I'm not gonna go there. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the first presidential debate. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. It is, what day is this? September 10th, 2024.
Was
I'm
that tonight?
I'm on a vacation right now, technically, so I've kind of already lost track of time. What episode is this? 809.
9.
I believe 9?
809. That's it. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 809. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined tonight by Brad Simons,
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom,
Hey, how's it going, everybody? You can buy a disk drive for me for an additional $80.
Christopher
Additional
Guthridge. We'll get there.
$80.
We'll get there. Christopher Guthridge also joining us tonight.
Oh, this is. Yeah, I've been out of the loop all day. There's shit happening, right?
There is shit happening, and we are gonna talk about it.
Look
Jeff
at the
Keighley
little
called us
grin
all
on Chris
whores.
Davis. He's red. He can't wait. Look,
Chris
he
Davis
can't
has
even
fucking
hide it.
notes.
He can't
Wait.
hide it.
Jeff,
This is your moment.
Jeff Keighley called us all poor or something.
Yes.
It was getting awkward. He was like going off on these rants about the damn VR connector, you
Did he
know.
not
It's like,
just?
all right.
Did he not?
Let it go.
No,
Now he's got something that's worth being angry.
Jeff, no.
I haven't really been paying super. Chris Davis, hello, welcome. to the
Hi,
show.
yes, I'm also here with my brand
up
new
your-
koozie. Thank you, Crispy's mom, for this. This is very nice.
Loading
Doozy
us
of a
up with
doozy.
more personalized 4Player swag. We got koozies this week.
Hell
Yeah, no,
man.
I don't. We're gonna talk about the PS5 Pro situation here because that was announced today. But on the Jeff Keighley note, did he ever kind of like quiet down about? I would imagine the backlash to his comments on Twitter were pretty brutal.
I've had
Yeah,
a
Right.
he got ratioed to heaven back.
wait. Would you say people took it poorly?
Yeah. That's
What?
Yeah.
What? I'm
Especially
sorry.
coming
What did
from a
Keeley
dumb
do?
fucking nepo baby like Keeley.
Healy posted a list of, because people were obvious the again. Let's just talk about it.
Let's just get into
Let's
it.
just dig in. The PlayStation 5 Pro was finally announced today, and it is expensive. And it what is
Hey, can I say before we get to the price, just
How
a
much
quick
is
short version of y'all have heard my rants when the PS4 Pro was a thing, but I still think it's the fast pass of consoles, and I think it's a horrible practice. Yeah, it's the fast pass of consoles
Okay.
because the bar for what is acceptable for the base model goes down once the Pro version's out, and no one gives a shit because they market with the Pro version. The critics review on Pro versions. You know, they make sure that critics have the models where the games run well, and all of a sudden, people stop talking about how games like Control and fucking Cyberpunk and shit can barely run at all on a base PS4. I'm just saying. Last time, at least they had the excuse that people have 4K TVs now. These days, they have nothing. This thing shouldn't exist, much less at what price?
$700, I think is US, right? $699
With no disc drive.
with no
drive.
disc drive, and the stand is sold
$700 and no disc drive.
and no stand.
What do you? Wait, I don't even care about the stand. What are you fucking talking about?
You could buy a disc drive for $80. Don't
Okay,
worry.
okay, hang on. All right, hang on. I'm gonna calm down a little bit because I haven't bought a disc game in a very time.
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe it is time to get rid of the disc drive. But
I mean,
also,
No,
Fuck
fuck
that.
off. Fuck off with that.
I don't want GameFly to ever die.
look. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of the comments that you hear in these conversations and on like social media and whatnot. People obviously have very personal reactions to this news, right? Because everybody bases their reaction on like their own personal situation. So we're sitting here talking about like us who have PS5s who are now like, well, I don't want to pay $700 for a new upgraded system, but like, does that mean all of the games I'm going to be buying from here on out are just going to run shitty on this?
Well, you remember the promises at the start of this gen? The reason we needed to get new generation consoles because it's the 60 FPS utopia with no load times. They would both of them, Microsoft and Sony, wouldn't shut up about 60 FPS. Now, you know, Dragon's Dogma 2 and shit, we're barely getting 30 FPS, if that. And you know, or we got quality modes that run like shit, you know, like Rebirth or whatever. I'm telling you, this seems insane. We bought their bullshit. I mean, not all of us, but I'm saying that was the company line back then. And now all of a sudden we have to have this to hit 60 FPS.
I would also like to add in that the American price is 700, the British price is 700 pounds, and the European price is 800 euros.
Prices are crazy. So back to the Jeff Keighley thing real quick.
Hold on, Brad. I have an answer for you. There you go.
What is this?
It's great for an audio podcast.
Who is that? It's Paris Hilton.
Well,
I'll tell
you this, no one's fucking happy. Now, Jeff Keighley, we all know he's a fucking suit in disguise or whatever. Not even in disguise. He goes out there, he's tweeting about this fucking thing, and he posts all the prices of the PlayStations adjusted for inflation over the years, which that tweet did not go well. Lots of obvious responses to that tweet. Most people are like, well, add the cost of the disc drive. Look, man, first of all, minimum wage hasn't gone up in 15 years in this country. Crazy. Nope. 15 years, literally 2009 since minimum wage went up. But besides the point, consoles used to drop in price. They don't drop any price anymore.
Nope.
So he could post the price of the PS2 adjusted for inflation, but towards the end of that generation, you could walk into a Walmart and buy one for $99. You can't. The PS5 is still the price it was when it came out.
No, it's more expensive.
Except the digital version, which went up. And in other regions, they both went up. It's crazy.
This cost me $120 in whatever fucking year it came out. But $120
today.
That's two fucking games now.
Yes.
It doesn't happen anymore. Also, Jeff Keighley, not only has been probably getting all this video game shit for free his entire fucking life, he's a goddamn Nepo baby. His parents run IMAX, okay? He should shut the fuck up. he should shut the fuck up. Yes, it is
Jeff Keighley
1000% true. So if you
Yeah.
ever wonder why he got a TV show on television, fucking Nepo baby.
I guess at the end of the day,
Pope,
it would have
he's
just been a
royal.
lot.
He's a religious nepotism too, because he's the Pope.
Canadian.
It would
The
have
Dorito Pope.
It would have just been more appropriate for him to keep his fucking mouth shut when it comes to this conversation.
Oh, he can't bring himself not to do that. That's impossible.
But you know,
He thought he had a killer point, and let me tell you, it did not go well.
it did not land. He was ratioed to hell.
Oh my god.
We'll see. We'll see what happens from that point forward. So yeah, but like the actual hardware, like what the hell do they think they're doing here?
It's a bad idea, and it's gonna bomb horribly. Did y'all know that the PS4 Pro was not the leading SKU, even not even close last generation? I'm sure it was the same. I mean, Xbox is probably a similar situation, but I looked up the PS4 Pro numbers. After the Pro launched, the base model was still outselling it 3-1, and like the price difference was not even that huge. I feel like, and I feel like these days the disc PS5 does better than like a Pro model did. Like I think it's more like 1-1, or maybe I don't actually know, but it's crazy. And don't forget, at the start of this generation, you could get a PS5 for $400.
Yep.
You know, and now the no disk drive Pro is $700, and it's.
I almost feel like
this thing is gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb.
I feel like the strategy here from Sony, and this is obviously just pure speculation, but I feel like they know this is crazy, and they're doing it because they know they're going to be forced to drop the price very quickly. But they're like, we'll get a certain number of sales.
Well,
they're not.
That happened with the PS3, right?
Do you think they're negotiating with us so it doesn't feel crazy when this thing ends up becoming like $550 or something?
No,
Like,
the price is not going to
They'll
go
drop
down.
the price.
The price is not going to go down. Sony just yesterday raised the price of controllers by $5 or $10, depending on what fucking color you got. Okay, like they've raised the price of PS Plus. They've raised the price of the base console.
Microsoft
Everything's going up.
They raised the price of all the controllers.
Yeah,
the colored and the non-colored. All right. What was Crispy saying? Sorry.
No, I was just saying if they're
that's been happening in
expecting it to
tech
have to drop the
everywhere.
price.
Go ahead.
No, I already said.
God damn it!
It's been
Brad.
happening in tech everywhere over the past handful of years since COVID, I feel like, or inflation, post-COVID or whatever, where tech has just been going up in price for no fucking reason. Usually they would wait for like a revision, or new hardware to raise the price. But like in recent years, it's just been, actually this thing is just going to cost you $100 more, which I think is pretty unheard of. Like, is there any, like, in the history of like tech, is that doesn't happen, right? Where it's just one day we're going to just start charging way more for this. That's a recent thing, right? Like the MetaQuest, right? It was the MetaQuest 2. All of a sudden, one day they were like, "Actually, it's not 300; it's 400."
If we're gonna treat the console market like phones, why are there not like trade-in programs? Like, why is Sony not like?
Sony's not going to sell used consoles. GameStop will give you money.
GameStop has just dropped the value that they will give you for a trade-in of a PS5.
Dude, GameStop is on this.
Well, they usually juice that up a little bit right before the launch of a new system, right?
Usually,
because I remember my Switch trade-in for an OLED was like they gave me an insane amount of money for that.
They will do that. And I will say this: the last time that I was in trading something at GameStop, which was sometime in the last 6 months, I was pretty surprised by how much money I got, because I was not expecting much, and I ended up getting like $40-something for like 2 games, and I was like, "That's kind of unheard of," but whatever.
At this very moment, if you wanted to trade in a PS5
they were Japanese
disc,
games; those things retain value.
If you wanted to trade in a PS5 disc version, they would give you $350. So that's half of the value of a PS5 Pro. So you're still out $350 before tax to get this.
And before the disc drive, I feel like that's the craziest
and the stand.
Thing. I don't.
Well,
I mean,
you don't have to get the stand.
well, no, you do actually, because apparently the stand is not the same stand from the original.
It's
So you
different.
can't just
Well,
use.
just lay
You
it on
still
its
don't
side,
have to. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have to
well,
have a
you get-
stand.
or stand it up without the stand. I have mine
Get a bunch of old
mounted on the
washcloths
wall,
and make a little
and it
nest.
doesn't need the stand.
You don't use a stand for your PS5?
No, it has its own mount. It's screwed
Wait,
into the
same?
mount that's on the wall.
Your PS5 is mounted on the wall?
Yeah, behind the television.
Fascinating.
That's
Okay,
not
interesting.
that
I
uncommon.
mean, I have never heard of that. But whatever. That's okay.
I mean, people rack
Touche.
mount these things. So, like, yeah.
Love a good rack.
Yeah, you gotta love a good rack.
Nothing like a good rack.
So you gonna rack mount your hardware in your new house, Chris Davis?
Oh, no, I
Run
don't have
the
enough
Ethernet
closet space
cables
for
through the
that.
walls.
I am doing that. I will tell you that.
Doing what?
what? You gonna run the Ethernet cables through the walls?
Yes.
Of course.
And I'm doing an HDMI run through the walls, too. So,
How does that work though? HDMI length, I feel like, isn't that a problem?
I mean, it's
If it's a-
$6,000.
if it's an active...
Huh?
No, that's the mattress.
Oh.
That's different. No, if you get an active powered cable, then it's not an issue of the length.
I
What are we
just
even
I
talking
don't
about here?
understand why you're running an HDMI through your mattress.
Well, hey, look,
could-
I want to have the highest
has
quality
a
fidelity
screen under
mattress
his
possible,
pillow.
okay?
What I don't understand is why do you have people in Egypt hand carving your bricks for your house? That seems a bit
It's-
much, Chris Davis.
It's
And then
not...
they have to push them on like a line of rollers all the way to his house.
Oh, no. I get all of my brick is personally handcrafted in Algeria. I don't do Egypt.
He handpicks every brick.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
They mail it to my apartment. I inspect each one and I send it back if I don't approve.
Oh man. Okay. Well, clearly we're done talking about the PS5 Pro.
No,
This
we're not,
fucking
because
sucks, right?
I have a bitching list to read off here.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Well, somebody's got to be the voice of reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody
Leave
has
it to
to
the
Slobbering all over
Xbox.
this thing.
Okay. First off, beyond the price here, this was just a bad presentation overall. You got Mark
watch
No, I
Cerny.
didn't watch it.
It's a 9-minute video of Mark Cerny doing marketing. This is a man who's a very technical, very smart, knows exactly how to do a technical presentation on something. Like, you look at what he did for like an hour just on like PlayStation audio. They've now got him doing fucking marketing in a 9-minute, very cut down video. That's
So you're
a
mad
bad
that-
idea.
You're mad that you didn't get to watch more Mark Cerny technical talk?
If you're going to give me a product that's cost me $700 to invest in before tax, I need to know more than just 9 minutes worth of content. They showed select
that's fair, I
games that are all quite old, some of them 5 or 6 years old at this point. Only 2 of them are recent releases, and one of them is a new game, and that's a third-party Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Their most prominent demonstration they did of all the comparisons in this video was using the fucking remaster of The Last of Us Part 2. Like,
That's
what
an
were you
interesting
doing
choice.
there? The
That's
presentation,
a choice.
his whole presentation was built around the concept of melding the 2 main graphical modes out there, fidelity mode and performance mode. Cerny came out and said 75% of their users on the PlayStation use performance mode. That's the one interesting metric that I caught there. But the whole presentation was about melding the 2, getting high fidelity with high frame rates, okay? How
Should have
did they
done from the
demonstrate
beginning.
this? He talked up ray tracing and he showed inconsistent games showing those implementations. These showed Hogwarts Legacy, and it was running at 30, probably at best. Like,
In
that
this
doesn't-
presentation?
In this presentation, yes. Like, it was not a 60 frames per second demonstration. And that completely contradicts what he was talking about. The comparisons themselves, they used small windows to show off details that were not highlighted. So you're showing small windows on a compressed YouTube video. How the fuck is anybody supposed to tell what they're actually looking at if you're not fucking highlighting these things?
That's true.
Okay, the comparison shots just fail to demonstrate proper examples, except for the ray tracing in Hogwarts Legacy and GT7, Gran Turismo 7, which they were showing off some of the ray tracing off the bodies of the car, but they were showing full frame gameplay. They weren't zooming in and really showing this shit off. Okay. And then all of them were just not uniform at all. And all the differences were just, they don't specify. Okay. Another thing, pro specific enhancements, of which there's only 13 titles for launch of this system, are voluntary by developers. There is some level of base enhancements for older games, including PS4 games. They said 8,500. Okay, that's just a fucking marketing number. There's no way they've done human testing for 8,500 PlayStation 4 games. There's no fucking way. Okay?
And isn't it using AI generated like upscaling?
So they're doing
as well?
Oh, this is my favorite part, okay? They're doing what's called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. PSSR, or as I like to call it, the pisser. The pisser.
He wrote all these notes because he's like, I got a zinger at the end of this.
I gotta talk about that, yeah.
Hold on, pause. This is actually hilarious because everybody else just was like, oh, well, the price is stupid. Who cares about the rest? And you're all like angry about the rest, but nobody cares because no one's going to buy it. But continue.
Oh, plenty of people are going to fucking buy this thing. It's just not going to sell out.
They're not.
No, I think you're wrong there. I think you're going to get
not.
You're going to get a handful of people who buy it, and then it's just going to it's going to like trickle off, and it's going to stop until they lower the price.
So here's the thing.
14% of all PS4 sold were the Pro model.
Yeah.
This is going to be way less.
Yeah. So the Pisser is a large language model AI algorithm that digitally upscales games, from my understanding, from 1080p in performance mode to 4K. So it's not even native 4K 60 or anything like that. It is AI upscaled 1080p to 4K. All right? The problem I see here is that with an LLM algorithm, okay, that means there is some measure of internet connection required. But I've learned that this plays off the hardware locally on the system, okay? So this means that patches for games now have to include PSSR patch content per game. So that's just more fucking shit we have to download. That's
true.
So fucking stupid. And at the end of the day, look, this just reinforces the problem of fidelity over performance in game development these days. Developers and publishers are incentivized to not optimize for performance, but to optimize for fidelity. That's why we have so many games these days still focused on 30 frames per second presentations. This is not the beginning of the end of 30 frames per second. The true future should be 4K. Realistically, it's probably going to be 1440p for the next generation, but this isn't the end of it. In fact, it's just going to be reinforced, and we're going to continue to get this shit.
Devs never cared about 60 FPS. Outside of like fighting games and racing games, it has never been like the standard devs have tried to hit. And it's mostly because games aren't developed that way. They're developed through all of development. They run like shit. And optimization is something that comes at the very end. And when you're trying to get your game going from running like shit to acceptable is a long way away from 60 FPS. Yeah. So you have to like design the game from the ground up to be 60 FPS. And they don't do that because they don't care what Sony's marketing speak was when they were announcing new hardware, just like they did in the generation before and the generation before and the generation before. 60 FPS has never been the standard. It will never be the standard until Sony and Microsoft and the other console manufacturers make it a requirement for cert. And until that happens, it will never, ever be the standard. And we should have known that. I mean, some of us did at the start of this generation when they wouldn't shut up about it. And people are so like incensed now. I can't believe this is not 60 FPS. It never has been. It never will be unless things change significantly.
Yeah. It's got to be at a policy level for this fix. So two more things I want to mention before I will shut the fuck up. A strong portion of Cerny's presentation was focused on ray tracing, and that's where they were talking the most about the enhancements going on beyond just a performance 60 frames per second quote unquote update. The problem here is that ray tracing is still an optional enhancement in most games. It's not a base requirement for play. Most games, pretty much all games these days, still support baked lighting that's set and not simulated. So until ray tracing is the baseline standard functionality for a game, there's no real value there. And even then, like, path tracing is on the horizon. It's probably just a couple years out before we start seeing big games taking advantage of path tracing. So, like, I mean, you're playing up something that does not truly add to an experience, and just on a whole kind of degrades the performance overall. And one final thing is that the PlayStation 5, it's having a year, and it's not a good year. Helldivers did well. Astrobot is doing well critically, but Concord fucking failed, and it crashed hard after 8 years.
It sure did.
And hundreds of millions of dollars of development. Only sold less than $25,000, 25,000 copies, if that report is accurate. So, with them not showing off anything,
wait, their year's bad because of Concord?
If they're not showing off anything beyond this year, into 2025 and beyond, in the demonstration of this $700 product, I would feel, unless I'm the hardcore whale, that this is not an investment I want to make.
Nobody, and you just did the most, like, long-winded path to the same conclusion that we've all already reached, which is no, we're not. Nobody here is going. Nobody except for, like, the most.
No one ever buys the expensive one.
And that's when the expensive one is not even like this conversation was being had with the PS4 Pro, and it wasn't even as dramatic as this. This is way more, like, the fact that the disk drive is not included, the fact that the stand is not included, like, and it's already $700 is it's insane. It's insane. I can't imagine what the long-term strategy is here. I don't know if there's really any more to say. Like, this console might as well be irrelevant until they significantly drop the price. Yeah, there's nobody nobody's gonna buy it. It's not gonna be it's gonna account for, like, the smallest blip.
The price of any PlayStation device, any hardware device that plays games, is not going to go down until the next generation starts. I can guarantee you that. There's no fucking way.
You think they're just going to keep pumping these things out and putting them on store shelves at $700?
No, they're not even going to keep pumping them out. They're just going to stall production. Because, again, they're not dropping prices. They're raising prices.
If they make a certain amount. The PlayStation 3 was announced at, like, $600, but then after the reaction, they made a $500 SKU with a much smaller hard drive. That was not announced when they said $599. The 3DS dropped almost, like, months after release from, what was it, like, $350 to remember 3DS and
it dropped to,
when
like,
that launched, it dropped like $80,
something like that. Yeah. It was
significant. Like, there's precedent for that, but
yes, there is precedent, but that was Nintendo. That's not modern Sony.
What does that mean? Are you saying arrogant Sony's back?
I am saying arrogant Sony's back. I'm saying Jim Ryan got out while he still fucking could, so he didn't have to own this.
Arrogant Sony is back.
That's the name of our show. We've given Chris Davis his dub for long enough. We should move on.
Look.
It's not a dub. It's Sony an L for everyone.
Get that smile.
Arrogant Sony is back.
How does that green make you feel, Chris?
That is the title of our show, and it's also appropriate not only for the PS5 conversation. Let's shift gears. Let's swing the pendulum back in the complete opposite direction. Still Sony related.
Please.
Let's talk about Astrobot, because
Oh, thank God.
Sony sucks, and the PlayStation 5 Pro is terrible, but Astrobot is pretty fucking
Reminds
good.
us of all
That's
those
pretty good.
Sony franchises that we love and still play to this day.
Wait, what? Is that where you're choosing to go? Look.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Crispy.
I like it.
Wait, okay. The overlay says Arco, just by the way.
Oh, it does?
Chris
Why?
Davis. Yep.
Why would you do this to me,
Wrong
Nick? God damn
Wrong
it, Nick.
overlay.
You did this.
Nick, I have some opinions on this game.
Yeah? Tell me some
The
of your
controller
opinions.
is too damn loud.
Really?
I had to turn it down, dude. It's so fucking
Oh.
loud, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it
playing
is
with-
really loud, but
I'm
it's
playing
sick,
with-
right? It's
No,
also
it's
I'm playing
fucking
with my
amazing.
headphones.
It's just way too fucking loud.
Yeah.
I see. I'm not playing with headphones, and so like I said, it got to the point where I was just like, all right, hold on, let me go in and just lower the volume to like 30%, and
Well,
I still
the reason they
hear and
crank that
feel
shit up is
plenty.
because I think like to really get like the perfect like DualSense feedback, you really do need the sound. The sound is a big part of it.
It makes a difference. It's one of those
It's
things.
like
It's like the whole
the
concept
tingles
of
with the sound.
it's that water company or whatever that sells. They don't sell water. They sell like a little packet that you sniff as you're drinking the water, and it makes you taste that flavor. It's that thing. It's like when you hear the sound while you're feeling it, it feels more real.
Is that a real product?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Look it up. It's a thing that exists.
What the fuck?
But it's the same concept. The smell is a big part of your taste, and obviously, likewise, hearing is a big part of like how you interact with the world. So when you hear something as you're kind of feeling it, it adds more to the effect for sure.
You know, on that note, one thing I've noticed, there's been several instances where where you like touch an enemy that like electrocutes you or something, or if you like step in lava or whatever, and like the noise that the Astrobot makes is incredibly startling. Like it's very loud, especially in my headphones. It scared the shit out of me on multiple occasions. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This, in this level that you're watching on screen right now, they did the raindrops. They brought the raindrops back.
Here's the umbrella.
Still fucking magic. But anyways, who here's playing Astrobot? I know Nolan. I know Brad. Crispy, but the Chris's, they're.
I'll be playing it after I borrow your copy.
Oh, you're waiting for me to borrow my copy. Okay.
Yeah, he don't support the blue, or he doesn't.
But
He's not a
well, yeah, he supports the blue, but he doesn't support the blue.
He doesn't back the blue.
there
He doesn't
we go.
back the blue. He backs the blue, but he doesn't support the blue.
I
So-
could say something fucking terrible right now. I will
Don't
not.
do it. Just don't do it. This is Astrobot. This is pure and unadulterated fun. Let's just keep it at that. Like this. I mean, here's the thing, and I made this comment in Discord the other day when I had only played like 3 or 4 of the levels in the first world, and I was like, look, this game is fantastic. As Astrobot, just in general, is fantastic, but I was a little, and then also this was kind of on the heels of like I popped into chat, and of course Prince of the fucking Universe is like, oh my god, I beat Astrobot, I've platinumed Astrobot, and I was like,
Have you heard since then what he's
Bitch.
doing? Have you heard since then what he's
No.
doing?
What is he doing?
He came in yesterday and was like, by the way, I 100%ed Astrobot, and he's like, oh, but wait a minute, Prince. I thought you had already platinumed it. And then he goes, yes, on the second save file, and I'm going to do it for the third.
what?
Jesus.
Why?
He's going to platinum
Why?
the game 3 times in a row because he's Prince of the Universe.
He's got to lap us at least once.
Well, that's ridiculous.
No, I
So-
mean like medically. Why?
but look, so the comment I made early on after playing very few levels was like, this is great, but like I'm a little disappointed, especially hearing Prince be like, I already finished the game, already platinumed. I was like, I thought this game was going to be much more. Like at the end of the day, I was like, this. I can't help but feel like this feels a little iterative. Like it feels like just kind of maybe an extension
Derivative?
iterative. Like it's just slight iterations on.
But also
On like the levels they did. Like there's levels in this game that feel like direct like sequels, quote unquote, to like levels that were in Astro's Playroom, and like and I was kind of under the impression this was going to be a much larger game. But here's the thing: now I have spent probably 15 hours with the game, and I'm 100%ing it as I go. I have one world left to do, and I kind of take everything I said back because the sheer obviously they're taking the same approach that they took to Astro's Playroom.
It's the same gameplay and the same, for the most part, and the same concept, but they've definitely amped it up quite a bit.
Yeah, like it feels bigger. All of the ideas and things that were kind of like hinted at or like touched on in Astros feel like they've gone much further in this.
Turned it up to 11.
Yeah, they've kind of just turned everything up to 11. And it's just I can't stop smiling when I'm playing this game, except for every world after the first one has 4 levels that are particularly you can tell these are the ones these are the levels that mean business. These are the one like your instinct
the
to like
button levels,
the button levels,
yeah.
the ones that have no checkpoints, and it's just you have to do it in one run, and there's 4 per world. Those make me rage. I probably spent like 50 tries on one today, and I was like, I can't believe I'm this mad at Astrobot, because up until this, it's like every level up until you do those is like, oh my god, this is like it's so casual and just light.
It's just not about the challenge. It's more about the experience.
But they put these in to be like, by the way, we can also make this hard. If you want the challenge,
it gives me. So I've been playing almost all of I've played of this so far has been with Bernadette. She hung out with me a lot when I played Astro's Playroom. Same with Rescue Mission. So she's very familiar with Astrobot, and we've talked about that. It gives both of us vibes of Sackboy's Big Adventure, where it's like a lot of it's just kind of fun platformer, not that big, not that whatever, but all of a sudden, there's like levels out of nowhere that it's like, holy shit, like you have to fucking go ham to do this. And there were those kind of race course missions in Sackboy's Big Adventure, where you had to collect coins and you almost have like a perfect run in order to get like the gold medal or whatever. And
underrated game, by the way.
Yeah,
no, great game.
And they've kind of relegated those levels and made them easier to like spot and identify, because like Brad said, they're like themed after the different face buttons on the controller. It's like one world has like there's 4 levels that are based off of the X button or whatever, and they all have kind of their own theme or whatever. But when you see those, those are the ones that are really gonna test your platforming skills. But like, so it's got kind of everything that a good platformer has.
I think it's getting a lot of mileage out of it being like beautiful, colorful, it runs amazing. Like it's just a stupendous thing to look at, game feel, like fucking
it elicits
with the fucking controller and the sounds. But I will say, and I do think the game is amazing, and it keeps going crazy with the ideas. Let me tell you, I'm finished 2 worlds. And we will talk about the special stages, of which there are a handful. There is one thing I feel like I'm missing from it being like a goated, absolutely best of the best platformer. Well, I would love it in VR. I think this thing would rock my socks off in VR. No,
there's got to be a VR mode coming for this.
I think the control's perfect. Like, right, it feels good, but it doesn't have the tech complexity of, I think, the best feeling platformers. Like how like Mario at its best has all kinds of shit. But even especially in Odyssey, where he's doing like diving into like throwing his cap and jumping in the air and canceling a bunt stop into a dive so you bounce off the hat. Like, it feels good to fuck around with all the tools that you have. And even in games where it's just simple, like just a roll that you can jump out of to give yourself momentum. I feel like there's nothing that Astro has that's that complex tech-wise to give you that kind of like momentum building, where it's just fun if you were in an empty room to move around. Astro doesn't have that, I don't think.
No.
And I really think
oh,
mechanically is
oh.
the only thing that is slightly
So-
behind some of the best of the best.
So I'll say it's not a mechanical issue. It was a design decision. And yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you that he's not a fast character.
Yeah.
You know, you're not doing cool Mario triple jumps into long jumps into spins, and you're not. It's not fast paced.
No sprint,
I will agree with you there. And there are definitely times where it can feel like sometimes you're kind of like, okay, fucking go, man,
Because
go.
they're big ass levels, and you're like, I just want to get there.
Yeah, I would like, and I think it was similar to Astro's Playroom. There is a hub space you can go back. It's kind of tied to the story. You can go back there and do stuff, and that place is fucking huge. And like when you're trying to move around that place, it's like, oh my god, can I get like a fucking bike or like a fucking unicycle or something, man? Like it takes a while to get around.
It does, but like, what's cool about that hub level 2 that you mentioned? I mean, and they did this. If I recall, they did this kind of in Playroom, but
That's
like
what I just said.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, specifically the like you fill that space.
You're collecting things
cool.
to add to that space so it grows over time. Yeah,
Everything feeds back into each other really well. Like I love that the gacha unlocks the items that make the special characters do cool shit, and like those animations are just fucking hilarious, man.
Yep.
Just
So,
absolutely charming or adorable or
So to clarify that,
legitimately funny.
So
you unlock special like from like classic Sony IP or even third party
Well,
IP
think of it
that's
this
like
way,
famous
too.
for being on like a Sony console, right? Like those characters.
Well, yeah. Think of it this way, though. To like this, I think is brilliant. They basically, like, every level, they basically turned the stars from Mario 64 into collectible Sony PlayStation characters, right? So like, you find like every level has like 5 to 7 characters, and when you find that character, you go back to the hub space and they populate the hub space for you, and then you go into the gacha machine and you can unlock items that are that are then given to those characters that are, so like, for instance, you unlock Claire Redfield from Resident Evil 2, and then you go in you in the gacha machine, you pull the lever and it gives you like a set of keys from like that are like the key of hearts or the key of spades or whatever, and it has a door, and then so you go and you see Claire Redfield in the world. She's now interacting with the door, and if you like punch her or hit her or whatever, the character it'll trigger an animation where she'll be like sorting through the keys and trying to open the door like she does in Resident Evil. But there's like fucking hundreds. There's fucking hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And like,
shout out to
deepest
shout out
cuts.
to like, and we're not going to do too many of these, and I still think we should be easy about the special levels. Outside the first one, I will say it was great to see a couple Castlevania characters in there. You know, and like Richter Belmont, I'm like, oh cool, Richter Belmont. His item is a throne, and when you do his animation, he's got red eyes and he sits on the throne and he's evil looking, because the Castlevania game that Richter's in that was actually on PlayStation was Symphony of the Night, where he was a bad guy. That's cool attention to detail. It wasn't just a random
clever.
Belmont. They got evil Richter Belmont.
So much attention to detail when it comes to these characters.
They could have just given him. They could have just copped out and given him a whip. It sounds like, but no, they did the deep.
I mean, well, there are, and I don't remember what all the Castlevania characters get, because there's like 3 different Castlevania characters. I know one gets a coffin, I think, and I don't remember what the other one is. But it could be a whip. I don't know. But there's so many, and then as you're in the world, you're also finding puzzle pieces, and then when you come back to the hub world, the puzzle pieces fill in, and they eventually unlock new things you can do in the hub space. One of which is like a garage that lets you paint your controller, which is what you fly around in. But the other one is a costume shop, and and then you start unlocking costumes in the gacha shop. So I'm running around as fucking Cat from Gravity Rush. Playing, or Sly Cooper. I mean, sorry if that's a spoiler.
No,
but
it's fine. It's fine.
I hear it goes deeper than irritating stick.
Wait, what?
Deeper than irritating stick?
Yes.
What is irritating stick?
That's a fucking deep PlayStation 1 cut.
It's a PlayStation 1 game that's kind of like a Operation where you're moving a stick and you're trying not to hit the sides.
I mean,
They
there
kinda
have been a
suck.
few references in here that I was like, well, I don't know what this is. So
There's some deep cuts.
this must be a deep. This must
So
be a
can we
really
talk
deep
about
cut.
like the special levels, and we'll only mention the first one from the first world. But
Sure.
but like the last level you unlock in each world is a dedicated like themed level where you play as the character from that world, and
And they
like
give
the
you a special
mechanics
item.
become very similar. So the first one
Mhm.
is Ape Escape, which you get you get a net, you get the monkey finder, and
Mhm.
all the bots you're collecting are actually just straight up Ape Escape monkeys,
Yep.
and it's
Well,
fucking
it's funny they're
cool.
not. They're actually still bots because if you like hit them off to the side,
Yeah,
like
their
the
heads
monkey head
pop
comes
off.
up,
Their heads
and so
pop
you can
off.
tell
It's
that
so
it's just a
good.
bot, which is clever. But yeah, no, it's pretty good.
It's such a good deep cut. I mean, it's not a deep cut. Ape Escape isn't like unknown, but
Yeah.
so as Asobi is a like dedicated studio that was within Japan Studio, and Japan Studio is responsible for the Ape Escape series. But also when Sony shut down Japan Studio, the remnants they what they kept alive was just Asobi, and the people who were kind of who stayed on went to Asobi, and they're kind of like Japan Studio like reborn, honestly, in a sense.
Mhm.
So it's cool to see like Ape Escape get such proper like representation, knowing that. And
So and these special levels we're talking about, we're not gonna say specifically what the other ones are, because part of like what's amazing about this game is
Yeah.
like discovering that for yourself. I will say this without saying what the game is. I got to one today when I was playing, and I was like, I have never played this game. After playing this level, I was like, holy shit, I kind of want to play this game, like the actual game it's based off of.
it's a shame
And
you didn't say that about Ape Escape though, because Ape Escape.
no, I mean, I have never, I have played an Ape Escape before, but not like finished it or anything. I am at least familiar enough. I have never touched a controller with it for this other game, and like, I didn't even
Okay.
really know.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me what this game is, and I don't know if I'd really be able to describe it or tell you what it is mechanically. And I feel like I kind of understand it better after having played this level. I'm like, I feel like that says a lot about how it's designed. I feel like it's kind of an amazing love letter to Sony's library, and like that's the kind of effects I'm sure they're kind of going for, right? Like to kind of make you interested in playing all these fucking games.
It's also a nostalgia fest. We talked
And it's
about
all
that the other week.
yeah,
that
it is also
a
nostalgia
big,
fest.
big factor. But
Um,
besides those like themed levels and stuff, just the abilities you get in the regular levels are still very fun. There, every once in a while there'll be one where you get an item that either changes how you traverse the level or changes how you interact with enemies or objects in the world. It's very reminiscent of the things I liked most about It Takes Two, just that it keeps feeling fresh. Like all the levels, there's some fresh mechanic or way that is an addition to how you're interacting with things.
since it's in the footage, so it's not, we can't really keep this a secret.
Yeah.
It's this one, like for instance, they give you a thing that lets you slow down time for a hot second, but then the way the way they tee things up for you to use that,
Yeah.
so creative. Like it's, and like I'll look at something and be like, no, they don't really. That's not really what they're going for. Oh my god, it is.
Yeah.
It fucking works. It's so cool.
Henry was losing his mind over the shrinking one.
Yeah,
He just could not believe it. He's like, "Oh my god, let me play!"
that was like
Our rule is that he can play on the second time to clean up collectibles.
Nice.
Otherwise, he's got.
And I do like this. Speaking of the cleanup thing, I like that they give you the option to kind of buy an assistant.
Yeah.
Well, no, you buy that, like, the bird or whatever.
The bird,
that
yeah.
allows you to kind of like, it'll like alert you when you're near something you missed.
That is
Some
how
of the
I'm
Lost
sure
Galaxy secrets are pretty tricky to find.
Yeah.
it's making the platinum feel much more. That bird is the only reason I'm like, sure, I'll platinum this, because they're teeing it up and making it easy for me to do it, and I do genuinely want to see what all there is to find and explore in this world. So like, why not? So I'm just like, every level I basically play twice. I play through it, I get what I can find naturally, and then if I have the coins, I buy the bird and I run through it. And
and I will say it's changed how I play the levels, because I used to spend a whole lot of time, checking every single secret and corner and stuff like that. Now I've just kind of started going through the level. Yeah, I'll look around a bit, but I don't spend as much time as I used to.
You just
Finish the
enjoy it.
level, and then I can go back if I want to buy the bird thing. I can. I have a little bit of an idea, because you can which bots you've missed. I got the first and second, but not the third. But I did get the fourth, so I kind of know maybe around where it is.
Yeah.
But 200 coins. It's like, well, you get way more than that. I mean,
And the coins are
you also want
important.
to use the coins in the gacha machine.
Yeah, the gacha machine makes the coins super important. So now I'm like, I'm thinking about the platinum, and I'm like, fuck, I could get everything in this game, but I'm still not going to have enough coins to get all the stuff out of the gacha machine, which is, I'm sure, is required to get that platinum. So like
Well,
every time I
it's
find coins, I'm like,
you can farm coins.
oh yeah, you can definitely farm coins. I'm just saying, like sometimes I think about, I mean, they give you extra lives in Mario, obviously, right? But like this is a much more like tangible, like coins mean a lot to me in this game, and I don't really find myself thinking about coins a ton in Mario unless I'm like,
Well, some Mario games they figured that out, but you're
sure.
right.
But like, unless I'm like running low on lives and I'm like, I'm getting close to a game over, I don't really think about coins very often. In this game, I'm like, I could either buy the bird to help me find all the collectibles, but I could get 2 things out of the gacha machine for the price of this bird. So like, it's everything, like you said, everything kind of just like loops back in on itself in really interesting ways. Also, I bought a bird once to help me find it, and didn't realize that the hidden thing that I missed was in the flight section when you're coming into land. Sometimes they hide things in there, so like, but you don't get the bird until after you land. So like, I was running through the level and I was like, where the fuck? The bird's not telling me anything. What did I get this? What did I spend this $200 for? And then I restarted the level and I was like, oh my god, it's in the flight section. God damn it! And I just wasted the money. But yeah, man, what a game!
It is.
What a fun.
Quite a game. Now, is it a 95? Maybe it's a 93 in disguise. But, I've been saying for a long time that when it comes to like taxes and bonus points and all that jazz that people eye roll when I talk about, the timing was right for this one. The narrative was there. I feel like the industry really needed a game like Astrobot, and it was rewarded for it.
It is. I mean, I Astrobot is just, it's like, it's giving
because
me,
I will say the VR game was absolutely deserving of like similar scores.
Yeah, that's true.
It really is. It really is one of the best VR games out there, and it is no less of a game than this is.
Oh no, definitely
it's
not.
Extraordinary. Maybe Playroom, what really was just kind of like more tech demo. It had neat ideas, but it did kind of repeat them. But like, this is the level that this team plays at. So don't be too surprised that
what I will say. No, for sure. What I will say is I was kind of when my friend was visiting the other week, and I was telling him about Astrobot. I was kind of having the conversation that every Astrobot game has, for all intents and purposes, always been a tech demo. The first one was showing off the PlayStation camera and the DualShock 4. Was that what the PS3 controller was called? DualShock, whatever the PS3 controller was with the light bar or whatever, and how you can interact with it and stuff like that.
The 6-axis.
The 6-axis. No, the 6-axis.
Oh wait, PS4. You're saying PS4.
The PS4. Yeah.
PS4,
whatever. It was showing all that off. Cool, whatever, neat stuff. Then they came out with Rescue Mission, and it was showing off the VR. All that's cool stuff. And then they came out with Playroom, showing off the DualSense. And everyone has always taken, like, I feel like it's a letter to other developers saying, look how much fucking cool shit you can do with this tech if you put your mind to it. And like it really, like you said, the VR game is a fucking amazing VR game. The things that you did in Playroom with the DualSense, like I was saying it the other week, my friend was visiting because he had never really played with the PS5 before. When you pull those triggers, it's like, holy shit, there's so much resistance when you're trying to do it's incredible. And similarly, this game it obviously we know it's doing stuff we've seen before, so it's not brand new. But they have, like you said, they took something that they had gotten to a 9 or a 10 and they cranked it up a little bit more. They're like, hey, you can still do cool shit without having to get a brand new peripheral or system.
The sad thing, based on what you just said, about how it's like showing off like what you can do with the tech, which is absolutely true. It's just how little other developers have followed suit.
I mean, there's very little incentive for a developer that's third party to actually go through that work.
I feel like VR was a little bit different because the very nature of VR kind of requires you to find creative ways to make gameplay around the tech. But like something that's like a controller, at the end, like I feel like a lot of developers are just like, yeah, we'll add some rumble, some nice rumble or something, but like you don't really need much. And like we'll use the voice coming out of the controller, which is neat, but like the number of ideas just that are included in like it's even like a single level of this game is kind of staggering.
Yeah. That's what
so
I've heard.
I don't know. If I want to, after playing this, I'm like, I just want to see more developers take notes from this, and just in terms of like, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to like load up everything, but like find like if I feel like every game should have like a thing that's unique.
Well, here's
the
the
way it uses
question
the
I feel
controller.
like we need to end on is, does this game actually like move the needle for Sony? Like, does this thing sell so well? I mean, obviously the word of mouth is there and the critical response is there, but it's still not like the type of game that does numbers for Sony. All right. Like, you know, they've had like the PS5 launched with Ratchet and it only sold like a few million copies, which is not like bringing in Helldivers money. Sackboy was kind of a bomb, you know, and that's a good game with similar energy. It's not quite this level, but like it's suggesting that the audience doesn't really like super care for games like this. So everyone's talking about like, oh, this is what Sony needs, this is what the industry
I want to
needs.
wait and see
But,
what
like,
the MPDs say after like a month.
Sure, and it is gonna get a bump because again, people are buzzing about it. But you know, we're living in a world where, you know, 2, 3, 5 million, 6 million isn't doing what these companies want necessarily. So
yeah, but these companies are making
sucks, but
unrealistic expectations of games.
I mean, sure, but if the expectations are set by a game that people play forever and spend money on forever, and you know, then the expectations are based on things that exist. So like, you know, Concord failed. Do you think Sony's gonna stop trying with service games? No way. No way. Because an Astrobot is not going to, you know, pay for the fucking R&D on the next console or whatever. It's just not.
I wonder if the Concord, what's it called? The controllers for Concord will. Because I'm pretty sure they sold more of those than they sold
cool
the
looking
Concord.
controller. Right?
Dude, it was actually a really cool controller. The controller's cooler than the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd probably rather have that than the Astrobot controller. Astrobot has those white sticks, man. That's gonna be dicey.
Yeah, they are gonna get dirty. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but you know, the Concord controller just looks cool. You know, it's kind of just got like it's kind of like the Starfield controller. It just kind of has a futuristic-y look to it.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Okay. Well, how are we doing on time?
9:30.
What are we? Okay, let's take a quick break. Oops, sorry, I bumped my microphone. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Crispy, I want to talk to you about Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, that's right. Here, Nick, let me ask you. Can you give me a little bit of time to talk about Shogun before the break in the Crispy game? Because, you know, at that point we're pushing it so far back it almost might as well not even exist. I might get bumped like a Letterman or something, you know. Just let me talk about Shogun Showdown real quick.
You are just okay. All right.
I'm what, Chris Davis?
I mean, it's a pretty cool looking game from what I've seen.
The reason is I don't think I got much to say. There's not much to it, and once you see it in action, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. This is a tiny game for once." From Brad, even though you think all my games are tiny, insignificant games, Nick.
I didn't say. What are you talking about?
Shogun Showdown is out of early access. This is one I've been eyeing for a long time since it's been in early access because I thought it looked sick, and like Steam reviews for the game in early access were like super positive. This is a game I probably would have tried to draft if I had room on my roster, but I don't. Anyways, came out early access. I picked it up. Sure enough, it's sick. This is a side-scrolling, turn-based, kind of into the breachy / deck builder roguelike kind of game, right?
Yep.
But it's side-scrolling. But the thing is, you're a like a samurai type character. It's Shogun Showdown. There's a lot of different classes or whatever, and you play like ninja and samurai, those kind of characters. And have you ever heard of the game? Carlos like goes wild for it. One Finger Death Punch. Like they've had
Yeah.
these side-scrolling like one-button games where people are coming from both sides. It's like that, but turn-based into the Breach style, where you see everything that's going to happen in the next turn, and it's more about reacting to what you're going to do. And that's what also like Slay the Spire's like, right? Where in that game, okay, well, they're going to do this much damage, so I'm going to throw up this much block and like do these other things and attack back, right? But this game is all about like, this back and forth and this movement, and you're like, enemy's about to attack, so you're going to like jump in front of him so he hits the enemy behind you, and then you've queued up an attack to where you're going to slash a sword in front of you, which kills the guy that was behind that dude. And then when that guy's dead, you're going to launch your arrow to like kill the guy at the end of the stage. And you're like triggering these like,
It's a lot about
cool-
setup. Yeah.
yeah, it's about setup.
Just the
And these
strategy and the thought before you just take an action. It's about planning it out. And yeah.
And it's like perfect design for this like theme of game, where it's all about, think about like samurai squaring off, and it's all about they're gonna do that EI slash, and they're gonna fall, the other guy's gonna fall on the ground as the samurai sheathes his sword. It's that sort of samurai fantasy, if you will. And it's like perfect for this type of game. And like, that's the game. It's sort of like building up and like leveling up these abilities through like your typical roguelike things of, randomization and like upgrading abilities, reducing cooldowns, stuff like that, and kind of really building an arsenal that lets you really just kind of dance amongst the enemy attacks. Because towards the end, and I did finally get to the final boss, you just get wave after wave of enemy, and you're just like, it's all about like managing, all of these guys coming at you. And it's got a cool look, and like, it's just a perfect, like, it's a very simple roguelike, but like they hit all aspects of it perfectly, that you just start to vibe with it. And at first it seems like a lot. It's like, you're taking a lot of hits. Like, I didn't have to like take that hit. And it can be awkward at first, but when you get into like that turn-based zone, there's a turn-based zone, Nick, for us turn-based nerds. There's like a flow state, a turn-based flow state, if you will. You just start feeling like a badass. You feel like a badass. You feel like you can't be touched, and it's cool.
I do like
cool
games that make me feel like a badass.
roguelike. Yeah, but I mean, not because he has like a hood. You know what I mean? This is more, you can't fucking touch me. I just destroyed this whole battle without getting touched, and I'm smart. It's cool though. I really like it. It's addictive as hell, as these kinds of games can be. But I think just like the very like simple concept, like very quick play nature of it means it's super easy to like start up a new run when you inevitably lose. And just to end, the only complaint that I have is it is a game. And think about it, right? Like a game where, you're just trying to dodge hits because you only have so many pips of life, and it's pretty easy for it to go bad pretty quickly if you're not really kind of planning ahead your moves because you're queuing them up. Where a wrong button press can like destroy your run. And
Does that happen a lot?
So, but it can, right? Especially because you tend to spiral in this sort of game, this sort of like roguelike where you only have like so much health. It sucks that because there's no like confirmations, right? Like you're pressing buttons to like turn around, you're pressing a button to move, you're pressing a button to do your attack. If you fuck that up just because you just fumbled the controls, you pressed the wrong button because you weren't thinking or whatever, or your brain wasn't attached to your fingers at that particular moment, it could in theory kill your run ultimately. And that's frustrating. I played a roguelike late last year called Core. God, what the fuck was that called? Not Core. Jesus, the one that was like FTL, the turn-based FTL with the spaceships. What the fuck was that game called? My God, I'm blanking. It was a similar kind of thing where you're kind of moving out of the way of incoming fire, and if you accidentally like pressed the wrong direction, it could like basically spell the end of like your whole run at harder difficulties. And this feels like that too, and I kind of fucking hate it. Cobalt Core. Cobalt Core.
Cobalt Core. That's
Yeah,
right.
I talked about it on the podcast, which is another cool one where a single button press with no confirmation. It's a lot. It's a lot in a roguelike, but you know, is what it is. I guess action-based roguelikes can be like that too, but it sucks when it's turn-based. Anyways, that's the only issue I have. This game is cool. So Shogun Showdown, I think you can get it for $15. Might even still be on sale, launch day sale. Super cool. Great on a Steam Deck. I really wish I had it on my phone though. This feels like a perfect phone game. It
Yeah.
really does.
Perfect
But alas,
pooping game.
maybe eventually. That's all.
Cool. All right.
I'm just
Now we're
staring
gonna-
at this. Oh, no. See,
What?
I was looking at the footage and I'm like, why am I just staring at this boss doing nothing? It was because my Steam Deck is on with the actual game. I confused it for the footage. I'm an
You
idiot.
motherfucker. You said it, not me. All right. Now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Crispy has played a lot of Star Wars Outlaws.
I
A
turned
lot,
it on
right?
to
You
look
played-
at something the name of Cobalt Core. I'm just saying. I wasn't.
Fucking hate you, Brad. Let me get through this. When we come back, Crispy's played a bunch of Star Wars Outlaws. We'll finally have a chance to talk to him about that. Chris Davis, I think you may have a game, right? Peglin, you've been playing. You want to briefly
Talk
mention
about
that?
it. Yeah.
Oh, I've
And
never
then
heard of that
we'll-
one.
And then we'll wrap up with the 4-player minute. So if you're watching us live or listening at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah, is no one playing Space Marine?
I'm waiting until I finish Astrobot, and then I'm going to start.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
Ah, but your Star Wars nerddom won
BRB.
over.
Well, that and.
It's a lot of games. Busy season, busy year, honestly.
When am I playing video games? Everyone wants
okay.
a piece of me.
Sorry.
Crispy,
Too cool for games.
I
Crispy,
am too cool for games, unfortunately.
What is the number? 809?
809. Yes.
800, 809.
Chris, I have to compliment you on your background choice this evening. You've
Yeah,
had
what
some
the
quality choices.
He's
But
just ripping off Nightshader shit, dude. Nightshader's the true genius. He just stole
Well, I
that.
got a couple of Night Shaders stuff.
But
got
I
some
like that
other
you
good ones.
settled on the one that makes me look high as fuck. Thanks for
Yeah,
that.
that's the idea.
Yeah.
This one
That's
isn't
just
a
you
Night
on a-
Shader.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening in this photo?
That's like a Joseph or something.
Someone's giving
Oh.
Goofy a wedgie.
You know, Joseph posted, he was like, did like a throwback Thursday, check it, and he posted the picture that he sent us the first time we ever met him, where he's like on stage singing in his underwear covered in blood, which I think was pretty great. You see... By the way, I cannot record a podcast next Tuesday.
Why?
I'm going to a concert, but
Oh,
I
is
can do
this
Monday
the
or
one you bought
Wednesday.
$400 tickets for?
yes,
Okay.
and of course it just happens to be on a Tuesday.
For what?
I'm going to see Slipknot next Tuesday.
$400?
They weren't $400, but they were not cheap either.
Oh my god.
They were actually like $300. You were off by $100.
Is that crazy for concert tickets these
It
days?
feels like a lot.
It's not crazy when you. I mean, it's a lot. But there are much worse. I mean, it's all fucking because of Ticketmaster. But yeah, it's the most I've spent on a concert.
I thought you were a Swiftie.
I mean, have you ever looked at? Have you ever? I have pulled up Taylor Swift tickets twice just to be like maybe, and then I see that they're going for about $2,000 a pop, and I'm like, nope, that's not happening. Not doing it. So it could be much worse. But yeah.
Yeah.
$300 per ticket is a lot. One Taylor Swift ticket or 2 PS5 Pros.
I'm going to a show. Did I say?
I'd probably get the ticket.
Literally have not been to a concert since pre-COVID.
I think this is. Yeah, I think this is the same. I think this is the first one I've been to since.
No,
COVID.
I don't think that's true.
I'm trying to think of the last one I went to. But no. Okay, I did go. I did go to one show. Yeah. You're right.
I'm not even like super jazzed about this, but it was like for my wife and I, it's like the stars have to align. We have to have someone to watch the children, which is not easy. And I don't really like spending money on babysitters unless it's like, you know, like a fucking anniversary or something, because it's just a huge extra expense. And then it has to be like music that we both like. And we don't have like really have the same taste in music, just like kind of different eras of a similar type of music. I mean, there's definitely some crossover. There are bands that we both like.
So who are you going to see?
I'm going to see Interpol with Trail of Dead, and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, which
where are they playing?
I used to like. I used to like both of them. I don't know if any of them are good anymore, but the Interpol tour is a anniversary tour for an old album that I do like. So, you know, not my favorite album, but I'm down. Like I said, the stars have to align for us to make this happen.
By the way, that is why the Slipknot tickets were so much, is because it's the 25th anniversary of their self-titled album. So they're basically playing it cover to cover. So
yeah,
it's not just. So wait, where are they playing? Interpol.
Moody.
I've never been to Moody Center. Apparently, all concerts now in Austin are at the fucking Moody Center. So this is gonna be my first time.
They got plenty of other venues, but sure.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying, but like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It's now. Like,
it's been a long time. It's crazy. It was literally, I think, the November before COVID was my last show. Children, you know.
I'll be right back.
It's easier when I just had one. Why did I have a second? It's crazy. One kid is hard, but like when they say a second kid is like 4 times as hard, like having 2 kids is like 4 times as hard as having 1 kid. Man, they are not lying. It makes everything more complicated.
And they also lie that when they say it's cheaper. That's fucking not true.
Cheaper? Who the fuck says that?
Some
You were saying the second kid's cheaper than
the second kid
is
so much money.
Cheaper than the first kid? I mean, that's true, but it's also like a bit of a myth. I don't want to say moms, only moms care, but I'm saying like, you know, moms, they want their kids to wear new cute things. They don't want them to wear all the same shit, you know, that the older kid wore. It's just not as fun that way. Me, I don't give a shit, but
Gentlemen, welcome back.
Pizza.
Because you know, with the one kid, when that kid naps, you have a break. But when you have 2 kids, they're not gonna like leave you alone at the same time. You know, the shit don't line up that way. I can't even imagine what having twins is like. That's got to be the truest nightmare.
What about triplets?
Well, triplets, you just kill yourself. It's fine. They'll figure it out. Or donate one of them to science or something. You know, have y'all ever seen that documentary about the 3 triplets who didn't know they were triplets until they were they saw like one another on the news, and then those 2 found the other one.
I did see that. I forget what it was called. Yeah.
And then the twist at the end was that they were all like separated on purpose as an experiment, and it's fucking evil.
Yeah.
Wow. That shit was crazy. Oh.
I have returned.
You
I
haven't
think that
missed
movie is called Three Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Crispy. Yeah.
That shit was wild.
I thought Nick was gonna say he was going to a Taylor Swift concert.
No, I said I've looked up tickets to a Taylor Swift concert and then immediately decided.
I saved this meme in my phone for the next time Nick talks about Taylor Swift. And
Here it comes.
It hasn't come up yet. Where the fuck is?
What is the story behind the Andor shot
Andor
that said
what?
mournful
Mournful Jizz.
mournful shit?
Oh, jizz.
I don't think it's a.
My computer just made a noise and I don't know. Oh.
that
don't
could have been
think-
anything.
Oh. No, that was Chris
Shadow
Davis. Yeah,
was the
no.
best jizz player.
I don't think it is an official subtitle, but like if for the uninitiated, the Cantina band
Mhm.
from the original Star Wars movie, right? The was
And the Mos
the
Eisley
modal
canteen.
the modal nodes, I think is the name of the band.
Mm-hmm.
The genre of music they played was originally called jizz, and they were called like people who played jizz were called jizz whalers, and then
Even better.
someone told George you can't call it that because that's like the most common word in the English language for cum,
And he was like, "Oh, I know."
and they
He knew.
changed it. So now I think now in official canon it's called like Jats, like Jatz.
He only
Better.
changed it because he
But-
got caught.
He only changed it because he got caught. Figrin Dan, that's what the guy's name was. Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. That was the name of the band.
Did
yeah,
they
they're
ever
jizz
like?
whalers.
I feel like Disney, at a minimum, Disney would have like put out like an album for them. Like,
No.
surely that wasn't a piece of merchandise yet, right? Or surely it was.
No. They don't know. I mean, no.
Merchandising was insane back in the 70s and 80s. Like, if they didn't do it then, I'm sure Disney thought about doing it when they got the license.
Well, what would make more sense? I mean, like what has been happening in Star Wars music.
I think Joshua, you clearly missed the first part of the podcast because we talked a lot about that.
Since Disney took over is they're actually just like licensing real bands to make vague like there's a band that's been involved in a couple projects now called The Who, like HU.
Who?
They're a
Who?
yeah,
Mongolian?
the HU, yeah, they're Mongolian like
I know things.
folk metal like
Okay.
and they literally just like hire them to write songs and sing in Mongolian, and then it's like this is an alien band, like. But there's a few bands or composers or artists they've got to make like original tracks for like in-universe music, and they don't even like sell that stuff. Like, as
Do you think the Who has like some covers of the Who songs that they
Who music?
bust out at concerts every now and then?
No,
They got to know a few.
I follow their YouTube channel, and I don't remember ever seeing any, but that would be good. Their music is good though.
Oh my god.
I think my mom went to one of
Jesus
their
Christ,
concerts.
Nick! I didn't need to see that.
What'd he post?
What
What'd
did
he
Nick
post?
post?
I want to
Oh, you can look
see.
at
Where'd he
Discord.
post it?
I just
sorry,
retweeted.
Discord.
Look at Twitter.
just-
Look at Twitter.
Oh. You're gonna make me pull up Twitter?
No, I'll find. I'll pull up the. I'll link
X,
the
the
tweet.
everything platform.
I fucking
Hold
hate
up.
that shit.
I know. Here, I'm posting it. I'm posting the link in the meetings channel.
What the fuck? I pulled up Twitter, and the first thing is a thing from the debate tonight, and Trump says immigrants are eating dogs and cats.
Oh yeah.
He said that before the debate, though.
What the
It's not just him.
fuck?
It's not just him. Conservatives have been talking about Haitian immigrants in Ohio like eating people's pets
Yeah.
What the fuck?
because
It's-
immigrants are evil.
Yeah.
Did you click the link, Nolan?
No, I've not clicked it yet. Did you post it?
I posted it in the
Okay,
meeting.
I found it
channel.
now.
Trump's neck
I
skin
got
looks
it.
like a pussy.
Oh my fucking
That's-
god.
It's Brian Crescente's reaction to it, which is, I literally thought this was porn for a second.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to catch the highlights of this later.
I've
Anyways,
been reading him during the show, and it's been something.
No, I can't wait to see how fucked we are.
yeah. Oh my god. Okay,
At least one good
are
thing
we
happened today.
are we ready?
I am recording.
We are starting Audacity, restarting the OBS recording, and restarting the Audacity recording. Okay.
Oh man. Alright. I am recording.
I am Spartacus.
But I'm Spartacus.
Crispy, are you Spartacus?
No.
No. Okay.
Hang on.
You can Spartacus my nuts.
I'm not.
Dang.
Yeah,
Got him.
Spartacus D's nuts.
Ah. Can't wait to go vote in November, you guys. Then everything will be okay.
Oh. Are you Spartacus now, Crispy?
I am Spartacus.
Okay. Brad,
I'm
I'm
is this a
assuming
sound test?
you've been Spartacus for a while? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Roll call starts now, Brad.
I thought I already did a roll call.
Nolan.
This is Nolan, and I'm doing my roll call for the second part of the podcast.
Crispy.
I'm not even sure why we do roll call.
What
Chris
are you,
Davis.
Brad?
I mean, I did my roll call already. This is roll call number 2.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Welcome back to the show. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. We were talking about Star Wars during the break.
Let's talk about it.
And Crispy, you played a bunch of Star Wars Outlaws? You were farther than I was last week, so I assume
I'm
that's
something like 30 hours. I'm about to go into like the end game part.
cool. And we haven't had a chance to
Whoa.
talk to you about it yet. I'm still about where I was last week, because I was like, I'm gonna
How much did you
get
play?
through Ast. I'm still on Tashara. I'm like 10 hours in, maybe 8, closer, maybe a bit safer estimate.
Have you at least gotten far enough where they're like, go recruit everybody?
No.
Come on, Nick.
I know, which is
10
crazy. 'Cause
hours,
this-
really? And you're not that far? That's crazy.
I mean, I
He
do it,
slow plays games.
especially if it's an open world game. I
don't
like.
think- I don't think
I
you're
slow
gonna...
walk. I slow walk through areas intentionally that I don't
Are
need to slow
you-
walk through.
You motherfucker.
I don't fast travel.
Nick-
like, what do you want me to?
Nick loves the RP walk. Like,
Does this game reward like picking a direction and walking and seeing what you'll see? That kind of thing?
It can.
I mean, not
It can.
It can. I mean, there are games that do it.
what you're
I mean,
gonna see is like a Far Cry style base of bad guys that might have shit in it, like that you can loot.
uh, yeah, and Crispy can obviously attest to this way more than I can at this point. But like the sense that I've gotten with the limited amount of time that I've played so far, like I'm obviously in my head, I'm like comparing it to like a lot of the other open world games that I've played and I love. Days Gone being a big one. And I think both of those, this game and Days Gone, both do a really great job of creating a sense of place. But in Days Gone, I feel like you can just kind of like
Days
walk
Gone.
into a direction and find.
Well, I also think like okay, so another reason why that question maybe isn't super helpful. I mean, like it's just like you exist in the world in a different context, right? Because there's no like wilderness per se to explore. There's just these large areas of the planet that are already carved up by like these different factions. And like what the game kind of revolves around is your relationship to these different factions. So picking a direction and going into it means you're eventually going to be stumbling into a faction's territory, and your relationship with them could mean nothing happens and they're like totally cool to just let you walk around, do whatever you want, or like they are a like kill on sight, like we don't like you kind of relationship. You know what I mean?
And you're constantly kind of moving the scale.
So
Constantly.
you can't make everybody happy. You can't play.
You can like. It's not that you can't make everybody happy, but it's that everything you do is gonna piss somebody off. So it's all about like balancing that. Like you have like these relationship meters for all of the 4 factions that you can collect. And most jobs or like intel or things you do are going to make somebody happy, usually at the expense of another faction. But if you're like in excellent standing with one faction and you do a job for a different faction that you're in poor standing with to try to raise that standing, and that job you do puts you, like negatively affects your standing with the faction that you have excellent standing with, then you might end up in a wash situation where at the end of the mission you're in good standing with both of them. You know what I mean? So
That's good. Like it would be cool for a faction-based game to be more like a Civ game where you can just, not have enemies, not go to war with anyone. You've talked your way into making everybody happy.
partially for just like story related reasons, because like things you do in story missions also kind of affect these rankings.
Right.
That's
in the main story,
possible, but
the main story eventually is kind of centered around like recruiting a team, right?
If it's possible, but the main story is built around you basically being coerced into pulling a heist, and to do that you have to recruit a bunch of these dudes, and then once you have these dudes, then the story is about setting up the heist and doing the heist. Yeah.
Are you enjoying the story? Because I feel like I'm still not far enough to really
honestly
have an opinion either way.
Listen, man, I really like this game. Like, I think it's cool.
Awesome.
I get some of the negative criticism. I've read a lot of like the negative reviews. I feel pretty confident in saying 40% of the criticism I've read is legitimate skill issues. Like,
wow. And the other,
I hear
60% is
complaining
people
about shit about
her face or something. Weirdos.
Well, no, the rest of it is like legitimate. Like, these things are kind of buggy.
There was a patch today, by the way.
There are certainly bugs. Like, there are definitely bugs. It's not unplayable. It's not like a horribly broken like console experience. It's not like playing Control the first week that Control was out.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. I think some of the friction people have felt is that like maybe they don't realize that this is an Assassin's Creed game.
Like, it isn't, or it is?
It is. This is very much an Assassin's Creed game.
I mean, are you saying
Are
you saying this is an Assassin's Creed game or it's a Ubisoft game? Or are those two things hand in hand for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like it's that thing where like Disney has contracted Ubisoft. I don't ever know how to say that. Ubisoft, whatever.
It's Ubisoft. It stands for ubiquitous software.
Ubisoft. I know. Whatever. But they're like French, right? So isn't it Ubisoft? I don't know. Ubiquitous.
Like we're offending people.
It's like they went to these people who made Assassin's Creed and were like, make a Star Wars game, and then these Assassin's Creed people said like, okay, we'll make Assassin's Creed and it's Star Wars. Like,
no, they didn't go to the people.
That's a good idea, honestly.
It is, and I kind of like it because like you are a thief. So like your skill set, the things that you're good at, if the things that you lean into gameplay wise are all like sneaky thief things. And people keep talking about like these like auto fail stealth
mission.
sections.
Yeah.
And I
Skill
I
issue.
think a lot of people don't understand that, like, it's not don't be seen, it's don't let them raise the alarm. You can literally, like, go into a room and just, like, be as loud as you want, as long as you sabotage the alarm first.
Hmm.
It's
More
not
like a Metal
this,
Gear kind of
They're
still.
making it.
yeah,
I think
it's
there's
not
also a
this, like,
weird. There's like a certain expectation.
I'm
For
like actually getting really like I've got enough like I've got enough practice with the systems and enough like unlocks of like upgrades and shit at this point that like going through stealth shit is like very fun. Like I am kind of just like taking people down in a very systematic way and it's very fun.
I like her
Um,
contextual takedowns too. They feel nice. And honestly, I just love using the. I love using the blaster. Like
the
I don't
gun
know why.
the gun someone in the chat said the gun is kind of shit and like yeah, it is. I mean you
Really, I
upgrade it.
dig it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. I'm not saying. I don't think it is that shit. I think it's like if you're trying to run and gun, you have to shoot a lot of like, especially tougher enemies, like 3 or 4 times to kill them.
right.
Except what you could be doing, what you should be doing, what I've been doing is I've been specking into like gunslinger stuff. So like I have adrenaline buildup really high, and usually what I will rely on is the stun, like the actual stun
Yeah.
setting. 'Cause, like that stun thing, most enemies you hit it with that takes them out. That's it. Like one hit takes them out, and then you fucking do a quick draw, boom, 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 boom. Like, oh, it's fucking legit, man. I don't
feels
know.
nice.
This game is kinda
You
sick.
got thermal detonators.
You got thermal detonators. You even got like smoke bombs. You got like ion smoke bombs. You can, yeah. I don't know, man. Like it's
And
fun. It's
one of the
fun.
things I talked about last week, Crispy, maybe you can elaborate on this more because I was trying to explain it, and what I think is really neat about this game and is kind of like the way the skills are linked to building relationships with specific characters and like
Right.
doing
It's like when
satisfying
you meet.
conditions for each of those characters as opposed to like having skill trees.
It's like the
Um,
people that you're recruiting for the heist are like they all have there's like the droid smith, there's the like the munitions expert,
right.
there's the hacker, and they all teach you like different like upgrades for your different skill sets. Like
And you unlock skills associated with their specialty by doing things that they would, I don't know the best way to describe this, doing things that they would appreciate or like, and I used this example last week, but like there's, like Nyx is, the little creature that follows you around or whatever. There's certain skills associated to him, I believe, and you like one of the things you unlock is like by finding 4 ways to make him happy, and it's like it doesn't tell you what it's like. I don't know how to fucking make him. I'll pet him. One that checks one of the 4 things off, and then you do certain things, and once you hit 4, the skill associated to that
unlocks.
task unlocks, and now you have a new skill. And like all the skills, as far as I can tell, seem to be built on kind of that same principle, and I think that's kind of a neat way of doing it. And also to go back a second, because when we were talking about kind of just this game versus other open world games, I was thinking about it a little bit, and as far as because if you walk in a certain direction, are you going to find something that's interesting? And I'm thinking about it in a different sense in this game because the thing that you find, and I think this is okay, I think this is fine. The thing that you find, like everywhere I look in this game, is Star Wars. Like that's kind of the reward. Like everywhere I go, I'm like, oh man.
Well,
Cool. like just walking
yeah,
through
I mean,
these
I will
spaces is
say
kind of a reward.
yeah, the just the vibe of all of the different maps and the areas and the places that you go is pretty immaculate. Like
Yeah.
they're pretty great. You go through like what I think is probably the best video game representation of Mos Eisley I've ever seen. Like it feels like you're kind of just walking through the actual town, you know? It
Wow.
That's cool, but like,
Yeah,
of
I don't
course,
know,
it's
like-
Mos Eisley. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, you go to like 4 different planets, I think.
Just tell me
all
all
those
those not
like-
You
Hoth.
got Tashara, no, it's Tashara, Tatooine, Kajimi, what was it?
Don't forget Canto Bite,
Akima.
even though it's not
Yeah,
really
you
the same
start
kind
on
of
Canto
world.
Bite. Yeah. But like a different part of Canto Bite. I don't know. Like they're all like, especially the cities and the towns that you go to. They're great. They're
They
awesome.
just feel
They're
alive.
so cool. They're so cool, and it's like so fun. Like just going around doing like mini games and shit. Like I've gotten really into playing Sabak. Like I've gotten really good at cheating at Sabak. So I'm making a lot of money.
Some of us don't have to cheat, Crispy.
Yeah, I don't have to cheat, but I make more money when I do.
I hear this game gets better as you go, like, and it ends really well. Have y'all heard that?
Does. I mean, it feels like it has opened up a lot. Like I was
but
I was more focused on how frustrated I was with like the speeder. Like I did not like the way the speeder handled when I first got it. And yeah, I mean, I think once you kind of, I don't know, like Zero Skies and Jazz being a little cheeky about what I was saying earlier and saying, from what I'm hearing from Crispy is that you can play a game wrong. And
Zero Skies be cheeky? Come on.
yeah, and I mean, like to a certain extent,
happened.
like yeah, I don't know, like I feel like
I'm on Crispy's
like,
side on this one.
like,
Sometimes it's not about right or wrong, but there are sometimes you can play a game where it's like way more fun than the people who are resetting after every failed like stealth attempt or whatever because they want perfect stealth or whatever.
Yeah.
I played
You mean
those kinds of games.
You mean the reason why I can't play and enjoy Hitman?
I mean, honestly, yeah.
yeah.
I
mean, I think
admit though that's a personal like tick that I have. I just can't like I realize I'm not the norm.
I think that
weird.
there's yeah, I mean, I think it's okay for a game to have like a specific vibe, a specific idiom that it's going for. And, you know, playing to or against that, your mileage may vary. I don't know. Like I don't think that there's like a huge barrier to chafing against stealth in this game. There are definitely missions where like it's probably impossible to get through it without doing any stealth. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of is a stealth
Stop being
game.
a bitch,
Like,
is what you're
yeah,
saying.
it kind of maybe is a stealth game. I don't know. Because it's called Star Wars and it's an open world game and has blasters, you know, people just kind of want it to be Grand Theft Auto. Maybe? Yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
be real though. She's getting a lightsaber in the sequel. Am I right? Am I right?
No, please, for the love
Don't
of
answer
God.
that,
I don't
no.
Crispy. Don't answer that.
The like lock picking.
Oh man, I struggle with this one though.
Dude, okay, yeah. One of the reviews I read was from Paul Tassi, the guy from Forbes who covers like live service games, like Destiny and stuff like that. He was in his review of this game was saying that the lockpicking was the worst lockpicking minigame he'd ever seen, and he immediately shut off the lockpicking game and just made it so that they're autocomplete.
Oh, he
'Cause
didn't.
that's
know
one
how
of
to
the
do it.
He
He didn't know how to do it, right?
He has no rhythm. Is that
I feel like it's like, oh, that's embarrassing, man. You just told the whole world you have no rhythm, because that's all it is. It's just like a
I think
beat.
some people. I
and
heard
you're
this
just
described
like-
on a podcast, in that they don't understand the mechanics or something. They don't understand that like both you're supposed to do it to both of the lights. I don't actually know the details of the mechanic, but I've heard it described. Oh, you're actually supposed to be doing it this way, and then the other person was like, "Holy shit!"
It gives you a
that's why
series
Yeah.
of
it
it
is."
gives you a series of lights, and you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
not-
time the triggers with those, but the beat or the rhythm or the pattern always changes.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even really look at the lights. I look at the actual like lock mechanism, because there's a part of the lock that is like click, 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 like against another part, and you're just supposed to do it in time with that.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's just
and I'm
a
not
little
great at
rhythm
it
game.
either.
It's just a
I'm
little
not great
rhythm.
I'm
at it either,
terrible at
but I
that kind of shit. Space Channel 5, I've never been able to get past like the second fucking level.
It's just a
like-
little rhythm thing, and it's usually like 3 beats you have to hit, and then it opens
But also
it up.
accessibility.
And it doesn't
you
auto
just turn
fail.
it
Like
off.
you can just turn it off if that's what you want to do, for sure.
Do it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, what did this get? 80 something?
No, it's like a 76.
This got
77.
76.
Yep.
That's
I think
still
Look
a
that's
at
good
Rise of the
score.
Ronin, man. No
Yeah,
one's
I
down
think that-
for
I
janky.
think that got
Open
sandbagged
world games that are-
a little.
Let me tell you. First of all, Crispy.
This is if Space Marines in '82. This is a fucking
God,
82,
here we
I feel
fucking
like.
go.
Well, Space Marine got a bump because of
Space Marine got a bomb. The
Uh,
conspiracy.
Well, I know how you feel, Crispy, because Days Gone. Let's see, what is Days Gone? Days Gone
every
has...
Just hitting all the
Nick,
highlights.
You're like, it's okay to like bad games. Days Gone.
Days Gone's got a 72, and in my book, that's like an 88, 89
I do also
easy.
I do also like this thing too, where it's like anytime you're doing like a mission or a job for somebody, usually your partner will like hit you up and be like, "Hey, by the way, that data you just stole, you can sell it to the person who hired us to do this, or you can sell it to their enemies and make more money." And like you just have all these opportunities to like
Fuck people over.
fuck people over. Yeah, and like they're all a bunch of scumbags. Like you don't like any of them, so it's like it doesn't fucking matter. Like every single boss you meet in this game, like crime boss you meet in this game, is like a piece of shit. So you're just like, whatever, sure. Like okay,
Damn it.
Fuck all
It's
them
a little
hoes.
late for this response, but it's a bad week to bring up Days Gone, Nick.
Oh no! It's not a bad week to bring up. It's never a bad week to bring up Days Gone. Fuck that guy. Even, but
The only person on the planet, probably. How many bots are in Astrobot? He's the
300.
one who's like, how dare they? How dare
Yeah,
they turn Deacon St. John into a robot?
no,
man.
I mean,
See, I don't even know what he's so pissed about.
well, like,
I don't even know what he's
He's
so
just
pissed
an
about.
asshat. I mean,
Hey,
he's the kind of
fucking-
person who just wants to be an asshat. That's all.
I mean,
It's all
really,
crazy.
nobody can see like an argument to be made there. Is
I mean,
it
I
just
think
because we
he's-
like Astrobot? Like,
I mean, look, we don't side with him for many reasons, but he's also just wrong.
He has
Shut the fuck
always,
Yeah.
even as a huge fan of Days Gone, even
your
since he still
your
worked-
franchise crashes
Well-
and burns. Sony won't make another one, but they'll.
Well,
use-
No, actually, it came out that Sony been shelved. Came
Oh.
out because of this guy this week.
Yeah,
That
they
it wasn't
chose
Sony's
to not
decision.
proceed.
they
to
decided
kill
not
Days
to make
Gone
another
2.
one because of this guy.
Probably, I think probably.
They
even if
didn't
they
even,
had the opportunity to make it without his involvement.
they weren't even going to
but-
pitch it to Sony.
It sounds like this guy was a real asshole.
I
who
mean,
was required
even,
to take anger management classes because he was such a fucking asshole.
yeah. Look. Even since he still worked at Bin Studio, and I was already in love with Days Gone, and I was actively playing Days Gone. Even then, that guy rubbed me the wrong way. Just hearing him talk, and he's always kind of been weird.
Yeah,
Um,
I just.
but like, still,
He doesn't. Yeah,
my
he's
heart
mad
filled
just
with joy
because
when
he
I
wants,
found
he
Deacon
wants
St.
to
John
be.
in Astro
He
Bot.
wants to be mad because he's not at Sony anymore. That's not his franchise anymore. It's definitely like a bitch eating chicken kind of energy,
I did
or
see
whatever
somebody.
that saying is.
I did see somebody describe Astrobot. He's like, I'm loving Astrobot, but I'm really struggling not to just see it as a graveyard of
Yeah.
of Sony IP. And I'm like,
Sony
well,
franchise.
that's a depressing way of looking at it, because like, but it's kind of true.
But like, isn't there anybody out there like who made up Infamous? Like, is that person going like, "Oh, cool, you fucking
No.
dropped our franchise, but you'll
But they
still fucking cash in on our
But first of
character
all,
we
quote
made."
unquote, did they drop it? They
Brucey.
made 3 games.
Three and a
as
half
far
games.
as 3.5 games. Wait, 3.5.
Yeah, I got a standalone
Right.
expansion for the second game. The
Oh,
vampire
yeah,
one, you
first-
remember
which
that?
that character,
Not the vampire one.
the third one.
First light.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
First
first light.
Light,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
The
Last
character
Light,
from Last Light. The character from Last Light is in Astrobot. Like, so many cuts, so many deep cuts.
Oh, I love her.
I mean, I don't need- I'm just saying,
Julie?
deep cuts, man. Lots of deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
Look,
I
we
was
got-
actually thinking about Infamous like a week ago, going, you know what? I feel like a new Infamous would kind of
Would be
slap.
pretty-
I don't
pretty-
know.
Dude, a new
I'm not even like
Infamous,
a huge Infamous fan. I like the first one, I guess.
a new
but, like,
Infamous would be very interesting because
I-
it'd be a chance to go back and like revisit what is truly very dated, like Remember the way that guy looked? Like his whole fucking
Okay.
vibe, very
He
like
changed in the second
Oh.
one.
2010s kind of.
Festival of Blood. I never played, and I want to
yeah.
play it because I'm in a Halloweeny mood. But there's no
Festival of
easy way to
Blood
play
was
that
cool.
anymore. You can't play it.
That's such a good DLC.
But this, like, man, how come nobody was ever like, yeah, let's do a third-person vampire action game where you can just like fly around as a swarm of bats? Because that was the coolest part of
That's
Festival
pretty
of
sick.
Blood.
It was pretty sick.
Was turning into bats. It doesn't matter. Star Wars Outlaws is pretty cool, but
I'm really happy
you know,
you're enjoying it, Crispy.
This is
I'm
a
gonna say that.
this is a year when pretty cool just ain't gonna cut it, I guess. So, whatever.
It can be an 80. It can be an
No, get
85
over
plus in
it.
your heart, and that's all that matters.
He's not wrong.
What's
All
the
that
last Star
matters-
Wars game you didn't like, though? I mean, let's be real here.
Shut the fuck up, Brad.
What
are
a
you
dick.
talking about? The
Well, you did
last
like
Star
the
Wars game I
Jedi game,
didn't like.
I'm just saying, people kind of have a different relationship with Star Wars these days. I feel like they're a little, like
It's a-
Marvel, right? They're like, we don't like Star Wars, and you're not
Yeah.
like that, and that's good. But that could be why people
mean,
are kind of turning up their noses.
Let's be
to see
real. Star Wars.
that, and they made her ugly on purpose.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
She's
As
a
much
woman.
as
She's a woman.
get her. No, look. Star Wars is an important franchise, but it has one of the most toxic fucking communities.
Yeah, because it's not a community. It's like 1 out of every 6 people in the planet. Like
That's true.
it's just-
That's a good
it's
way of
just
looking at
too
it.
ubiquitous to be a community.
It's a
Like
religion. for some
Ubiquitous
people.
software.
ubiquitous software. We tied it back.
Speaking of ubiquitous software, Peglin? I don't know. Does that make sense at all? I don't know.
No.
No.
I mean,
okay.
I could talk about Peglin. I don't have footage, unfortunately, because
Okay,
I've had a
you
hell of
don't
a
What's
couple
with
days.
you? What is with you?
Oh,
you don't
you're
even have to
segueing me,
upload
Nick?
it anywhere. You just have it on your computer.
I don't know, Crispy. Were you not? Did you have more to say?
No,
I
I was
didn't
just
mean
gonna
to-
let the conversation peter out naturally with
We've been
dignity.
talking a lot about Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
Hey, I finally watched the last episode of The Acolyte.
Oh.
So that was
After-
a show.
After it was canceled.
I know, right? That's so disappointing too.
Yeah, I don't even know if I should finish it now. I was only like
Because
4
you
episodes
finish
in.
watching it, and then you're like, "Oh, so this is just nothing. This show was nothing."
Yeah.
Then okay, cool.
One of the main actors
was
in
a
that
show
show
about
said it
nothing.
is. One of the main actors in that show has since come out and said that like it is his now it's his mission in life to film a second season of that show. I was like, I don't know what kind of power you think you have over this, but if you're gonna
maybe
try
if you
more
didn't make
power
your
to
show
you.
all about build up and connections to other things, then it could stand alone on its own without it being all sad and like confusing at the end. Just make some
What was
art
it?
for once.
It was.
Fuck
It
mine.
was.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it was not
Watchmen
connected
was
to
really good.
anything, was it?
Well, okay.
Yes.
So I don't know yet because I have not. Look, we're gonna get dangerously close. I don't even know if spoilers matter for a thing that's been canceled now. But like,
I mean,
I
Okay.
read something and I'm like,
there's
okay,
there are like little like post-credit cameos and shit that are
no,
connected.
no. But like,
but,
isn't like the whole. We'll talk about this. off the
Oh,
feed.
yeah, I
don't-
know what you're talking about. But like, yeah,
know.
also because they didn't do anything with it within the confines of the season, it is now a show about nothing. Like,
Wonderful. Well, maybe it'll get picked up again somehow, and weirder things have happened. I don't know. Anyways,
I mean, I'm good, but like, whatever.
Chris
Just do
Davis.
more Andor.
Yes,
This Andor season 2 is coming later this year.
Yeah,
it is.
Andor's great.
Uh,
Go watch
yep.
Andor again. It's so good.
Andor is
Okay.
so good, and the second season will be its last, but it is second season of Andor, and that's exciting.
Only 2 seasons. Well,
Chris
hopefully they split it
Davis.
off. Yeah.
I don't sign
that-
petitions.
Heard you've been pegging.
I feel like he
He
needs to
starts
record
them.
Peglin footage and talk about it next week.
Okay. I mean, well,
The thing about Peglin is that it's not
Oh.
necessarily an easy game to record and be entertaining to a viewer.
You don't have to
Dude, I've
entertain with
recorded
footage.
So much. I recorded so much Peglin footage when I talked about it on the show like a year and
True.
2 years ago.
He did talk
Yeah,
about
and
it,
we
yeah.
were
He did.
not entertained, no.
Just hit the record button. Don't be
Okay.
like Nick, like, oh, I didn't get enough pegs on that shot, so the footage sucks. You're talking about the game. We just want a visual.
Okay.
There's nothing
All right.
about the footage that's worse than not having footage.
I promise you that the next 24 hours I record footage and we'll be good to go for next week. How about that?
Well, it
Sounds
doesn't have
good.
to be in the next 24 hours, but you got 7 days.
Well, if I do it now,
Okay.
then I won't forget.
7 days to peg.
All right. So with that
I'm just
in
saying,
mind,
I like,
You
I like
pegging?
Peglin too. I just want to see
Brad,
Like
Yeah.
begging
Brad,
too?
Bradley,
Really into pegging, huh?
do no more. No one can say the word pegging again for the rest of this
Oh.
episode.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fair.
Brad, do you have what can you
Peg
tell us
little
about,
Peglin in my
what can
little
you-
butthole.
what can you tell us about Fantasy Critic this week?
Oh, I gotta be honest with you.
Here we go.
I feel like this isn't fair. This shit happened to me with Baldur's Gate last year, where no one thought it was gonna be as high as it was. I didn't even think it was gonna be as high as it was. Same shit with Astrobot. I knew it was gonna be great. I didn't think it was gonna get me like 10 extra.
The
fucking
gamble
points on
was, of
top.
course, that you did it before it was announced. So you took the gamble, and
That
it
was
paid
the
off.
thing. That was the thing. And this is the crazy part, right? I did that because I was on tilt after losing Balatro to Nolan. And I was pissed. So I was like, I got to find some shit. I bid on Astrobot on a rumor, which is why I won it. Because if we had waited till it got announced, then whoever had the most fucking money would have gotten it, which was certainly not me. But I was on tilt. The thing is, when I bid on this rumor, and of course nobody else bid on it because it was a fucking rumor, it was nothing substantial. And
I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
and I did like $1 or something. I don't even remember. It was like a couple bucks. The thing is, when I did that, I still had Mario. I needed my free drop for that. That's how much tilt I was on. Meaning that if this thing didn't exist, I would have been stuck with it because I needed my free drop for Mario. So I really was going, fuck it with this. So the fact that it paid off, it feels good. I didn't expect for it to pay off this much, though. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be like a 92 at best. Because I just didn't think Astrobot, like
Now it's the highest rated game of the year.
Few games score that high. They really do. And it's almost always stuff like, Zelda, Mario, GTA, stuff with like a certain level of prestige that is rare. I sort of felt that way about Baldur's Gate last year, but I guess if you think about it, Baldur's Gate as a name, D&D, even the Baldur's Gate games, they actually did score that high. Like Baldur's Gate 2 may even be scored higher than Baldur's Gate 3. So, but Astrobot, that VR game is like top 3 VR games of all time, up there with Half-Life Alyx and fucking Superhot or some shit. It absolutely, but even that was still like a 90 or whatever, right? Like,
And look,
this
I
crazy.
know what you mean when you say a certain level of prestige and you started name dropping like Zelda and Mario and stuff. And I know this is not the same thing, but I was going to
Nintendo
mention it
royalty.
earlier. I was going to mention it earlier when we were talking about Astrobot, but like playing this game gives me extreme Super Mario Galaxy vibes. And I know that's not the same
Yeah,
thing
'cause of
because
the
prestige
variety.
means like history or whatever, but like
Crazy.
it's on that level.
Crazy. You're all
On
crazy.
that
It's
fucking
on that level. I mean,
It's not, is it?
it is
It's
absolutely
woke. It's woke, isn't it?
It is absolutely
Goddamn right.
go. I mean, yeah,
It just feels
it deserves all the love it's
Yeah,
gotten.
I'm
like, for
sure. I'm sure it is. Okay, let me ask you this though: do you guys feel like Astrobot is now like the guy, like the
mascot?
Sony
The guy.
PlayStation?
I mean,
like,
Sackboy's dead.
like obviously he hasn't been around as long as like Mario, but like it always felt like these games were like really cool conceptually, mechanically, but like Astrobot's just like this generically cute little like whatever, like it looks like a fucking toy or something.
I think it
don't-
would be foolish for them to not position Astrobot
Is this
as
it? Like that's part of why I feel so fucking crazy. Is like this new game came out and everyone's just like, oh, it's so great, like as if we all have this like deep seated love for our favorite Sony mascot,
We do now.
Astrobot.
But we
Like,
played
I mean-
3 Astrobot games now, Crispy. You
That is true.
Did you even play that VR one? Oh, you
played
did.
the
You did.
VR one. I played
Look,
the VR.
Okay.
I think you're onto something,
Good
Christy,
shit.
because I think when the dust settles, they would be foolish to not try to position Astrobot as their official mascot, because like it just makes so much sense.
He
The
has-
I
entire
can accept
game.
that he probably is going forward. It's just this week has made me feel like everyone. It's like everyone just like. Fucking
needed-
1984 me into thinking that like, oh, we've always been Astrobot fans. We love Astrobot.
I do think-
he's like fucking Mickey Mouse in the video game world.
Everyone who owns a PS5 has probably tried Astrobot at least, well, except Chris Davis.
I think the only
I was waiting
thing-
for it.
I think the only thing that they've been waiting for like the only thing preventing it from being looked upon as the official PlayStation mascot in the eyes of the masses is that Astrobot didn't have this like widely, I mean, I'm going to say this, don't jump on me, Brad. Didn't have this like widely accessible full like title, right? Playroom felt very much like a tech demo, and VR and Rescue Mission was relegated to people who had VR headsets. Now you can walk into a store and see it on a shelf, and suddenly it just feels more real. It feels more important, I suppose.
It's like learning that the fucking guy giving out the Michelin stars is literally like the Michelin tire man. Like, it doesn't make any
Wait, it
fucking
is, though.
sense. It is.
What?
And the first
That's why I
time,
wanna
the first
have
time
that.
you learn that, it's always like, why do
Yeah.
people care then? Like,
That's
why are
true.
Michelin stars so important if it's just a tire man? Like,
Are you serious?
That's not
That's
the
true.
point. Nick,
The Michelin Guide
company
is like
created
the
the star
Michelin-
system to get people to drive more, to go
For
to
the Michelin
restaurants
Guide.
farther away, so that they would wear out their tires more and buy more tires.
Nick, don't you
That was the
understand
whole
that
concept.
all awards and prestige in our society are just tools of capital? None of them mean anything. None of them carry
Yeah.
any real honor. They're all just vectors of commerce, Nick.
You know that
Yes, Crispy, thank you.
the thing about carrots improving your eyesight was just a myth invented during World War II because there was a surplus of carrots, right?
I have heard that
By
before,
Big
yes.
Carrot.
Okay.
Can
least
I just
you know
say real
that.
quick?
They lied about carrots?
They lied about carrots.
I just want you to know how Astrobot Rescue Mission on how long to beat as completionist of 13 hours, which is probably not that different than this game.
No, it's
it was
not.
A real ass.
But again, you had to have a VR headset to play it, which not a lot of people do. Can I just real quick, totally off topic here? I'm losing it every time Crispy like leans back in his chair and fades into the background. I just see the word mournful jizz appear on the screen. I'm
Sorry, do you want me to change it back? I'm sorry.
no, it's great. It's great. Like,
Can this actually be the Mournful Jizz show?
sometimes I can see your face, but like I can just
In
see the
the
words
jizz.
mournful jizz underneath it.
Can
Which is
you
pretty great.
lean back and then come back into the frame, which is this creepy ass face there, Crispy?
Crispy, it looks like you got some mournful jizz on your chin there.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, what do you say we wrap up the show with the 4-player minute? Brad, would you
Sure,
care to
yeah.
start us off?
I'll start us off. Fuck, what was I going to talk about? Crispy,
you
start
want.
us off.
So
Talk about mournful jizz.
Jizz Whalers, right? So he was obviously playing off the word jazz. He was like, well, it's in space, so I'll call it jizz.
Sure, makes
Uh,
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
It's like my
Yeah.
mistake.
Star Wars is great. You know what I really like about Star Wars? It's one of those franchises that has like a bunch of different colorful like species of like humanoid aliens walking around. It's like, like D&D or Star Trek or something, but like every alien in Star Wars is just fuck ugly. Like there is not a pretty looking alien in the bunch. They're all like, this
There's
man is
multiple
just a
aliens.
hairy dude with a giant
for
spider
yourself.
head. Like
Relax.
Relax.
Twi'lek.
Buy me a Coke.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but Twi'lek dudes are fucking ugly.
They are.
Like,
They really
they're
are.
Gamorreans.
not- Gamorreans just
Mhm.
Gamorreans are just Japanese orcs. Like they're just like
Oh,
green
yeah.
pig people. So they're orcs.
I thought we were
The
talking about
the Jizz
pretty
Whalers, the guy I remember what species Bith. They're called Bith. They got like the big butt heads and the little like anus mouth and like the giant black eyes.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like the little
Rhodians.
bat people, the Rhodians. Rhodians are great. Rhodians have really grown on me over the years, but they are fucking ugly. I remember reading an X-Wing novel where someone was like this Imperial officer was chastising his subordinates because he noticed he had like these like little sucker hickeys all over his neck that he had gotten from an alien
Rhodian?
whorehouse. Like he was going
What?
to an alien brothel and had like Rhodian sucker marks on him. That's how hard Star Wars used to go.
Which one, Crispy? There's so many of them. Which
DEI,
one?
yeah. Which one exactly? I think
Naked pictures on the internet? I can't believe that.
took-
Where?
the Grutas are weirdly attractive.
Wait, who? Which one?
Like Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Her hair looks like it's made of cotton candy. You kind of want to eat it.
Okay.
Rosario Dawson, are we talking about, or are we talking about?
Both.
Oh,
You know what? I don't fucking care. I liked Ahsoka. Like,
No, I loved Ahsoka.
I thought that was
I'm pumped for season 2. Of Ahsoka.
Yeah, and we don't know that humans are humans. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. My 4-player minute is all of the
There.
wonderful like bits of 20th century Americana that Star Wars Outlaws adds to the Star Wars universe because I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with Star Wars adding like just normal everyday like Western culture things into the Star Wars universe, but like just putting like little sci-fi bits on it to make it look sci-fi, right?
Example?
Like for instance, in the latest Skeleton Crew trailer, they were showing like full-on fucking suburbs, like kids riding on bicycles through suburbs of like houses on lots next to each other with like lawns. There was literally like an Ithorian with a lawnmower like mowing his lawn. Like
What the
so great,
Wow.
so good, love that. Star Wars Outlaws, I saw televisions. There were televisions. You can collect holodramas, which is something they've always talked about, and you always just kind of assume like, oh, holodrama is probably kind of like a TV show, right? But now you actually get to like listen to a holodrama and like see what it's like. And the holodrama is like an awful fucking sitcom that has a laugh track. It has like a live studio audience with a laugh track.
Wow.
So Star Wars has laugh tracks.
Just the laugh
canonically.
like aliens? Like, is it like aliens?
It just
in the
sounds like
audience?
people, man. It just sounds like
I was gonna
people.
say, is it humanoid laughter or
It's
like
people.
alien
Yeah.
laughter?
I just hear
Yeah.
a bunch of Rhodians and like laugh.
Um,
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, and like okay, so televisions, we got the laugh track. There was something else I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I'm always just on the lookout for little bits of like bullshit like that. You know, it's like including like potatoes and coffee in the Hobbits. It's like that's not really like a thing that would have made any sense geographically or temporally if you're trying to say that this is like a history of the world, but you know, it emulates a world that we, the audience, are used to.
Right.
I just think that's
Cool.
fun.
I'm gonna be keeping my eyes peeled now once I dive back into Outlaws.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Also, it reminds me, I need to watch the Skeleton Crew trailer. 'cause I have not
Coca-Cola.
watched it yet.
Coca-Cola is canon in Star Wars
Really?
because Disney said that all of Galaxy's Edge is canon. So anything that they do in Galaxy's Edge is canon, and they sell in-universe Coca-Cola. They even have like an explanation of like where it comes from, and it's really fucking stupid. And they like with the addition of Coca-Cola, plastic also became canon to Star Wars, even though Star Wars already widely uses materials that are much better and similar to plastic, but they also have plastic.
Is the Starliner
insane.
Hotel canon?
The ship is, yeah.
Okay.
The fucking I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, the ship and the Starline are canon.
Damn. Cool.
Gotta draw the
all
line
right. My
somewhere.
4-player minute starts now. I don't know. I think it's going to be about Monster Hunter and things.
Yeah.
Dang.
You know, there's a lot of really good stuff that came out of Gamescom. A lot of really exciting stuff. One of the major complaints was the frame rate, and I'm looking at this PS4 PS5 Pro. Of course, I'm not going to buy it, but knowing that there's going to be some bitch ass motherfuckers out there who are going to be playing that game with the silky smooth frame rate is going to hurt. Is going to hurt,
Aren't you gonna
especially this time.
Just play it on
What about
PC.
PC?
My PC is 7 years old, and that's over 7 years old, and I my PS5 is probably going to run it. I mean, it's going to run it better, at least. Well, it's in 4K.
I mean, here's a game plan for you, Brad. Just spend $6,000 on PC parts and pay it off over 3 or 4 years, and you'll be okay.
You're joking, but
when you could buy a mattress.
Yeah.
The thing is, PCs, like, PC parts got so expensive that just the idea of it, it's not even like, can I afford that? It's more just like, I'm so opposed to the idea of spending like $600 on a fucking graphics card. It's just gross to me. Like to me, build a PC when you can get a, processor for $300 and a graphics card for $300 and a, like, it shouldn't be as expensive as it is. Even for like a mid-range, it's gross.
A loaf of bread should be a nickel, and gum should be a penny.
No, it's not like that. It's all got inflated when Bitcoin and mining blew up, and it never went back down.
Mining fucked it. No, for sure.
Yeah, but Arizona iced tea stayed the same price, so it's okay. There's some
gas station
pillars in the world.
Pause for a second. I just realized Crispy wasn't here last week. Does Crispy even know what the fuck we're alluding to when we keep talking about $6,000?
Oh my god, that's post-podcast conversation. That's a post-podcast conversation.
Yeah,
there's too many questions. I still have more questions on that one. So yeah, it got me thinking about PC gaming, right? This pro shit and Monster Hunter, and it got me thinking about it. And it's like, I'm just really not. I'm at a place like, I had built my last PC before I had any children. They were pre-children, and it's not about money. It's more about like, it's much harder to justify such a large purchase. It's hard to justify such a large purchase just for myself. I don't even use my computer that much. I literally only podcast on my computer. Most of my PC games I play on my Steam Deck, or you just stream to my Steam Deck. I'm almost never sitting in front of it. And it just feels like a waste of money. So now I'm at this weird place where I'm just going to be mad playing Monster Hunter, and it's not fair. It's not.
That's what we all want, is mad Brad on all.
I hate this. I hate that shit, man. It's such a bummer. And I'm worried Blast Dash isn't going to be in this. Maybe the expansion. No underwater swimming. That's fine. But everything else looks fucking amazing. They're doing some crazy shit. I'm excited for Monster Hunter. I'm hoping. I think it might actually be early next year. Capcom's a little. I think we might get a date at TGS. It is very exciting. Really, that's it.
Cool.
So, Dragon Age. No, everyone's still mad at that game, but I've like almost completely come around on it. I'm excited about Dragon Age.
I think the tide will shift more dramatically when the game's actually in people's hands.
It's getting there. Like, BioWare fans are definitely like, we still exist. We love Dragon Age 2, even if it's not, even if it's not as much as we love Mass Effect, but we're horny still, and Baldur's Gate didn't quench our horniness. We still want to fuck everything. I will say though, my fuck you for the week goes to the male Kunari that they made for that footage was
Hideous?
Awful looking. And again, this isn't about like me being harsh on the more cartoony art style, the Fortnite thing, whatever. I think it's been looking better. Some of the characters look great. But that character that they created was awful. And they've set the bar for like Kunari and multiple, since Dragon Age 2 and 3, a lot higher than whatever the fuck that was. I'd take Sten from Dragon Age Origins over that shit. He didn't even have horns.
Can you post a screenshot? I want to see it.
Oh my god. I'll post it in our meetings channel and y'all can look at it. It is bad.
I'm curious if I'm going to have the same reaction. Anyways.
That's all. Oh yeah. You usually are like pro face anytime I complain about faces.
Yeah, that's why I want to see it.
You cannot defend this. But yes.
We'll see. We'll see about that. All right, Nolan, 4-player minute?
I'm ready. My 4-player minutes are now. My hype is honestly just for more Astrobot. I've been really enjoying my time with it. I'm ready to play more. It's just been a busy week, and we didn't get a chance to play today, but definitely going to be playing some tomorrow. So definitely excited for that. My other hype is
in there.
tied with a sweat. We keep talking about doing a game night, and we keep not doing one.
That's
But I
true.
would be
It's just a
very
lot of games
hyped
that
for us
come
to
out.
fucking do one.
Maybe
Well,
next
here's
week will
the-
be a good week because I can't. do
I'm
a
down for some
podcast on
spooky
Tuesday.
shit. Can we do some spooky shit?
Sure, I'm down.
Spooky season. I mean, maybe we can wait till October, but I'm down. Let's do Core Keeper or something. Something on Game Pass. The thing is, I
I'm-
think
I'm down.
Abiotic Factor would have been great, but that's a game that everyone has to buy, and that's
True.
We'll have this I agree with you, Nolan. Maybe we can do it next week. I mean, like I said, I can't do a podcast on our normal night, so maybe just a thought.
look
Maybe
in
next
Discord
week.
link, by the way.
Well, it's
Okay,
just
I
a
will do
thought that I'm going to be bringing up every week until we do one.
Cool.
Well, let's do one
so
next
then-
week. Any games
Yeah.
coming out?
We'll talk
Big
about
stuff?
it after the show, maybe. My thank you this week is going to go to everyone who reached out after the podcast last week, congratulating me and Bernadette. A couple people DM'd me privately, telling me some of their own stories and with kids and stuff. And so, yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Excited, worried, hyped, all that stuff. Which, yeah, obviously goes into, with a kid on the way, obviously going to have a little less time for gaming already. Like I said, there are 1,000 things in my house I have not done since we moved in. That's like, oh, we'll have time to do that later. We'll get to that later. And all of a
The
sudden,
clock
it's like,
is
crap,
officially ticking.
yeah, there's a huge countdown. So I've been doing dozens and dozens of things, and then my own fault. Like, we ended up buying a new fridge a while back. I think I talked about it on the show because our old one was having some issues with the ice maker. Fridge itself still works, and so I'm like, let me throw it in the basement. So we'll have a basement fridge. I can be a basement fridge family for once in my life. And then somewhere to keep all my extra drinks.
Though.
So I love stairs. I go up and down my stairs all the time. I do it on purpose. Like Bernadette's like, you have a mini fridge in your room. How come you don't use it? And I'm like, because I like going downstairs. Back when I was, rambling now.
How many
but,
stairs are you
I-
going to be climbing tomorrow, Nolan? It's 9/11. Never mind. Continue.
Jesus Christ, Brad. What the?
No, it's a thing they do every year here in Austin.
What the fuck,
Like,
Brad?
you
Without
fucking
context,
morons.
without
You fucking
context, that's
moron.
weird, Brad. I was not aware that was a thing. You could have led
You
me.
climb flights of stairs on 9/11 in honor
It's
of
still weird.
I
It's
have
still
never
weird.
heard of.
responders.
I have
It's
personally
an
never
Austin
heard of something
thing.
you're
It's an
lying.
Austin thing. Do they do it other cities?
I've never heard of that before.
Well, you know what?
I think this is one of those
I-
situations where Brad had a dream and he thought it was real.
It's not.
Like the,
No,
Look,
they totally do it.
As a large man, I don't climb stairs, but for like 20 fucking years in Austin, they do this thing where you climb like 110 flights of stairs on 9/11
That's a lot
downtown.
of flights.
I lived here all my life. I've never heard of this.
that sounds
Well,
awful.
regardless,
Well, look it up.
the,
That does
Maybe
sound.
we're just too fucking out of shape
Like
to know
the-
about that, Chris Davis and Chris
It's like the Jenga 9/11 commemorative 2-pack.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, moving on back to other things. I wanted to keep. I drink. Some flavored waters and other things that I often forget to replenish in my fridge, and then end up having no cold drinks. I'm like, if I could, keep my drinks in the downstairs fridge, I'd always have some cold drinks or whatever. So anyway, move the fridge down there. The problem is I don't have an outlet that will work. It needs a dedicated outlet, obviously. So I finally get an electrician to come. But I was dumb. I left the fridge open for like a month and a half. And then like a few weeks before the electrician came, I was like, I can probably close it, right? Like it doesn't need to be open. Well, it's very wrong. Electrician comes, hooks it up, and it's just like filled with mold. And I'm like, fan-fucking-tastic. And so, hey, well, you know what? It finally gave me the excuse to buy the steam cleaner I've been meaning to buy. So I literally spent like 2 days like steam cleaning the entire fridge. And ironically, it's now cleaner than it was before we even moved it to the basement. But still, it's just like one of those things where that was not something I expected to have to deal with. But yeah,
Sometimes adulting
Life.
goes hard.
yeah, life happens. And it's funny, I Googled it and I was like, how long do you need to leave a fridge open before you close it? And everything's like, never close it once you've used it, is basically the answer.
Interesting. Who are we on? Chris Davis.
Wow,
It is your turn.
Another nightmare story for homeowners like me that are. Oh God.
Oh no.
I didn't need to hear that story. Thank you, Nolan.
Yeah, welcome to hell, bitch.
Yeah,
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, between that and Brad's AC going out, yeah, it's just I want to sleep well tonight. Great.
I'm sorry. In our meeting channel, Chris Davis keeps posting pictures of like progress of his house being built, and I laughed so fucking hard because he posted a shot, and Crispy posted a GIF of just like a single house on no,
it's the house from Arrested Development.
That's Arrested Development.
It was the model home from Sudden Valley.
I mean, I try to be
Oh my
careful how
God.
I take these and post these pictures because I don't want to actually dox myself
right.
a fucking gin.
Yeah.
To us. You don't want
Hey.
us to know?
No, I don't trust Discord.
That dude who does the map finder or whatever, he could find out where you are.
GeoGuessr?
He already knows
GeoGuessr
where
guy.
you live.
Oh, you could take a picture directly of the sky with no geo stats on it, and he'd figure it out within like 5 hours.
I took a picture of my balls, and he found me in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
True. And he showed up to jostle them.
it's something.
Oh, I'm so... Okay,
He
Chris
was like,
Davis.
"Hey, have you heard of Peglin?"
Yeah, I guess my thing right now is that I guess what got delivered yesterday? My garage door opener. So
Your
I get to hold
mattress.
on to that for next 3 months. My builder sent me pictures, which I posted one of yesterday to y'all. The exterior is drywalled. The windows are in. They have the brick. Like they've got the pre-plumbing in and they've got the pre-electricity mapped out. So like
You might as well go sleep in it tonight.
I'm terrified. They actually gave me a potential closing date. And I just like now it's getting fucking real and it's haunting me.
Hey,
are you
Chris Davis,
talking about?
I'm assuming you're having someone install that garage door opener, right?
I'm going to do it with my father.
Okay. I would check, just as just an FYI. I don't know if it was like that here, but I know when my house in Texas, my garage door was installed by a company, and they told me if I installed the garage door opener myself, the warranty on the door is void, unless I go through them. So just double check to make sure that's not a thing.
I don't think that's the case with my builder. They just had only like 3 models of Genie garage door openers that I did not like. So I just decided to save the money.
Well, like I said, it wasn't my builder. It was my builder contracted a garage door installation company, and that company warranted the door for 10 years unless you installed your own garage door opener. Then the warranty is void. So just FYI, maybe double check.
I'll look into
I'm
it.
just trying to make sure you're safe.
Can I just point out, like earlier tonight at like 6 o'clock or something, Brad made a comment in our meeting channel that said something like me at 11 o'clock during the homeowners discussion. It was like, it's literally 11, like 4 minutes to 11 right now, and I look up at Brad and he has this like blank stare on his face.
Is
I just
this
thought it was...
is this 4-player minute partially a reaction to Brad's sass there? Who can
Maybe.
tell?
I'm just like the timing.
I don't think it
the
was. I
timing-
think you've been waiting 7 days to talk about your house progress. That's fine, dude. It's
Yeah.
fine.
This is your minute. You can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, and I'll spare you by not talking about mattresses this week.
We're after the recording.
People
Chris
start.
Davis,
There is
you
a
need to
trend in
explain to
the.
Crispy at least.
There was a trend in our feedback and discussion channel where people just started posting the $6,000 over and over and over.
It's not even the price. It's that he was pitched a $12,000 mattress, and he goes, "I'm no sucker. I'll get the $6,000 one."
No, it wasn't
And does that
$12,000. It was
$6,000
$15,000.
does that come with the undercoat? Can you get that on the mattress?
Yes, to the clear
The
undercoat.
clear coat?
I just want to point out, Slopdog made a really funny comment. He said, "Intentional or not, Chris's whole 'I'm building a house' mode is a bit hilarious. To go from I didn't buy tactical breach wizards because it was $6 too much."
This is what I'm saying.
That's why he didn't buy Tactical Breach Wizards, because he already spent that money.
This is the conversations I had with Malia when we were like, let's buy a house, and like, well, how do we pay for a house? We'll just the joke is we'll just cancel Netflix. Boom, we could buy a house now.
Problem solved.
He said, I can't wait for more updates, but how Chris has been reduced to eating crackers and water while the fluted marble tiles are being imported from Venice.
Nice.
That's kind of the vibe you're giving off, Chris Davis. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
I think there was another comment that I'd actually attempted to buy the entire city of Austin. Like, yeah,
this is what I was talking about when you purchased Alone in the Dark earlier this year, because you were already talking about, I'm saving for this house, but then you buy Alone in the Dark, the game that everyone knew was going to be mid, and you had no attachment to the series.
I bought Alone in the Dark before I was house hunting.
That is not true.
You bought the
That
Metal
is
Gear
factually
Delta
correct.
collection after you were building your house.
Nolan is factually correct. Yes, because I'm a slut.
Nolan's got receipts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Well, I know that because I don't have receipts because I wasn't able to buy one.
That's touche.
Crispy, why do you got to post my house like that? Why you got to do that, man? So mean. Anyway,
anything else you want to?
I'll Nick, it's your turn. I'm done.
Okay.
Physically and mentally tonight.
We're almost there. Look, my 4-player minute is this. It is. It's been a while since I've taken a staycation, right? And that's kind of what I'm in the midst of right now. It feels weird. I'm just like, every day this week, just get up, start playing games. I've played so much Black Myth Wukong, so much Astrobot. Man, it's been nice.
You gonna do a Baldur's Gate day? Like a whole day dedicated to Baldur's Gate 3?
If I get through all the stuff that I want to get through this week, including Space Marine 2 and Hollow Body and Star Wars Outlaws, then yeah, I'll carve out some time.
What class is your character in Baldur's Gate? I forgot. It's been so long.
Fucking no. It's got a sword in it. He already forgot.
It's been a while.
Oh no, Nick forgot.
Are
you a bard?
Actually.
No, not a bard.
Are you a fighter?
No, not a fighter.
Are you a paladin?
No.
Are you a rogue?
No.
Are you a fighter?
Are you a tiefling?
Are you a monk?
Are you a warlock?
We're running out of
Can
classes.
I finish my 4-player minute?
What race are you?
Chat, I would like
just ask people what race they are.
Since they just released that patch that adds official mod support, people should just start tweeting, various mods you should install, Nick.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm having a wonderful, relaxing week, and I'm playing lots of video games, which I feel like I haven't really been able to do that. Just have so much concentrated gaming time in one session, which is nice, or one period of time, which is great. Black Myth Wukong continues to blow my fucking mind. That wait, what?
Is it going to be like respected as like you're going to go goblin mode on games next week, or like Robin is not allowed to like interrupt or how I'm saying, how crazy is this?
What do you mean? I mean, I just took Monday through Friday off, and I don't have any.
That's what I'm saying. But like, are you going to be like, oh, let's go out and just chill on the town? I mean, how dedicated is this time to playing video games?
I mean, it's just kind of my like fallback when I don't have plans. So, which is kind of what I was.
Are you still making lots of plans for this week? Is Robin taking any time off? Is it literally just you?
She doesn't have time off right now, which is the whole thing. We can't talk about right here.
I'm just curious if like
we literally can't take a vacation together right now, and I have to burn my vacation before the end of the year. Oh. I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Like calendar year or fiscal year?
Okay, Chris Davis.
Okay, that's splitting
that's
hairs.
Different.
That's splitting hairs. The point is, we can't take a real honest to God vacation together right now, and I have a bunch of vacation time, so I was like, this is a crazy month that I could use a week to just kind of catch up on stuff, so that's what I'm doing.
I just wanted to know how gross you were going to get.
It's pretty gross.
Showers.
No. I'm still showering twice a day. I'm just...
Twice a day?
Twice a day.
We're not ready for that conversation. Let's end this podcast. We don't have time.
We're still water restrictions, Nick. Calm down.
What? Okay. Y'all so distracting. Look, Black Myth Wukong, I feel kind of the way Crispy feels about Star Wars Outlaws, about Black Myth Wukong. That game is still, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and keeps kind of blowing my mind consistently. And I still got a long way to go. There's so much game here, and none of it feels recycled. Just like every environment in that game feels handcrafted and fun to explore. Enemy types are engaging. Boss fights are so much fun. It's fucking beautiful. The only thing I just can't wrap my head around is why the fuck they didn't put a map in the game. It doesn't make any sense because it's so big. It's so big. And it's so hard to figure out where to go in some cases, or like especially when you're trying to find.
I hate to break it to you, but when there's an illusion filled with a lot of invisible walls, if you start mapping that out,
but
it
even
kind of
then,
makes it look cheap.
It's not even that. It's not filled with invisible walls. It is like a flat open world, and one that would benefit from.
I'm talking about Wukong.
Oh, I was talking about Star Wars. Okay, but I was saying I do wish there was a map in Star Wars.
There's no map in Star Wars either.
There's
a map menu that you can open up and look around, but there's no like mini map while you're driving, trying to figure out where you're going. Like,
Wukong doesn't even have a map you can open up in a menu. There's no map. It's like playing Dark Souls or Bloodborne or something, and just not being able to.
Those are not maps either.
Yeah, I was about to say those have maps.
No.
What the fuck? Okay,
yeah, but those games are meticulously designed.
This is meticulous. This game is meticulously designed. Like I feel like a lot of people are probably underestimating how much is actually designed and handcrafted. Like there are so many hidden paths and so many just diversions. I missed a whole hidden quest line because I took a right instead of a left, and then I didn't find out about it until like 2 chapters later, and then I was like, why the fuck can I do this? Like, I'm struggling on this boss, and they're like, well, you'd have a lot easier time if you went and did this quest. And I was like, what quest is that? And I looked it up, and I was like, what is this? And I had to go back and explore an entirely different area I didn't even know I missed. Like, it's just, there's a lot. But it's all good, man. I'm enjoying this game so much. So yeah, that's it. That's my 4-player minute. Final thought, whatever. We've reached the end of our show. We made it. Guys, thank you so much. We did it. Yay. Maybe next week will be a game night. We're not entirely sure. We'll keep everybody posted in
There's no big new games or anything, right? I think
we haven't talked about Space Marine 2 yet.
And we haven't talked about Peglin yet.
We haven't. Okay.
Yes, we have. We've talked about Peglin on multiple episodes of this show.
I mean, Space Marine 2 can probably wait another week. If y'all want to do a game night next week, I'm totally down. Anyway, the point is, we'll discuss. We'll keep everybody posted. We'll let everybody know in our Discord, which is where you should be hanging out at discord.gg/4player. That's the best place to be to keep in touch with us and the community. That's where you need to go. You can also
there
find
is a pretty racist game coming out next week.
The Plucky Squires next week.
Is that really out next week?
Here we go.
Oh, it's on PlayStation.
Hollow Body is coming out this week. There is stuff to talk about, but it can, like I said, it can probably wait a week for discussion. Anyways,
Crispy, you gonna get on that Satisfactory, dog?
Well, I have been on it.
Oh, let's end the show. Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week for game night or podcast or whatever. So, anyways,
bye.
Be good to each other, play video games, and good night.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been playing it?
He's been playing it in early access, bro.
Oh, what's out 1.0, baby?
Yeah, I know.
Don't check that Open Critic for your own sanity. Don't check that Open Critic.
No, I saw it. I saw it.
You said it didn't have an Open Critic page yet.
Yeah, it's not connected yet.
Oh, I mean, it does. It's coming. They're coming in hot.
Because of the conspiracy.
Let's see. So were y'all saying Warhammer went up or down?
No, it just look.
It went down, but Brad thinks it should have gone down.
Listen,
look. They had Metacritic had like 90 reviews. There were like like 6 different 70s and a couple of 60s that were mysteriously not on OpenCritic, which is a lot of low scores. They had almost as many reviews, but for some reason, these were missing for days and days and days. It was just a little weird. Including a game, The Gamer, a website called The Gamer, which is a top critic.
The Gamer.
It is a top critic on OpenCritic. The Gamer is a website owned by the company that just bought OpenCritic. The Gamer had their review on the day that the embargo lifted, and they weren't hosting the review from owned by the same company that just happened to be a 60 or a 70. That's a little weird. That's a little
strong Pepe Sylvia energy going on right now.
Yeah.
They're just facts, and I'm saying they're weird ass facts.
Okay, now do one of your games.
Look, it was a counter pick. What I have skin in the game. What do you want from me? I counter picked it.
Oh my God,
I didn't
that was
look.
pretty good.
Metacritic was OpenCritic was sitting several points higher than OpenCritic. The Metacritic, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I looked into it, and I'm like, where the fuck are all these bad reviews? These are real ass review sites. It seemed weird.
He was adding the guy who like fucking makes Fantasy Critic.
Wait, first of all, he's just in the Discord. Yeah, I don't know.
My point.
He's tweeting at the fucking haunted chocolatier, dude. Okay. Well, he's actually been fixing a lot of because they do have new ownership at OpenCritic, and he has been like establishing that relationship with new ownership, trying to get some of the more. There's been actual tragedies on OpenCritic that have affected Fantasy Critic in ways that you all wouldn't expect. Like, for example, Monkey Ball. Some people drafted has had a 0.7 on OpenCritic as an accident. They fucked up. It was supposed to be a 7 out of 10. They did a 0.7 out of 10. And people have drafted this, have been begging OpenCritic to fix this fucking review, and they've just ignored it for months. So like he tries to like open up those lines to say, hey, can you fix this shit, dude? You're kind of fucking up things for us.
Because I'm sure the conversation in OpenCritic went like, why are they so adamant about us fixing this? Who fucking cares?
Dude, if you look at
and they're like, no, you don't understand. They're playing a game. They're playing like fantasy football, but with video game scores. Then somebody else went,
go to OpenCritic.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Who cares?
No. Go to OpenCritic, scroll to the bottom, look at the supporters. Fantasy Critic is an official supporter of OpenCritic. They're on there along with fucking, Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, it's Fantasy Critic and Coca-Cola.
No, look, I'm telling you, it's like that relationship was there. They just have new ownership. It's funny.
Okay, well,
I gotta go watch
our supporters.
Tonight's train
I've got
wreck.
stuff to do.
Oh, it is a spectacular train wreck, Nick.
Our partner. Sorry, they're an official.
If anybody wants
Game Store. No. Listen to this motherfucker. Epic Game Store, GOG, Humble Bundle, Fantasy Critic. Boom. Real ass partner.
Epic Game Store. We don't like them.
That's true. Boo.
Hiss.
Games Planet is a retailer.
If anybody wants 4-player koozies, just DM me your mailing address.
Did I thought I did that maybe, but maybe I didn't.
I don't think you did.
I got mine. Thank you.
Okay.
Mine's still a little cold. Yeah.
The offer is open to anybody who can hear my voice right now.
Are they different from the other
again,
ones,
these are
Crispy, or
nice.
is it the same ones?
What do you mean? The other ones?
That you sent me before.
Oh, yeah, because you're the only one that sent me
Ooh.
your address the first time.
Oh, really?
I think.
Okay. Well, then I
I mean,
don't
they are
need more, 'cause
functionally the same.
Okay.
What's the
then I
most
don't
you've ever
need
spent on a
more.
mattress,
I don't want to.
The most I've ever spent on a mattress?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be taking it away from anyone. Nobody cares or wants them.
Bye, everybody.